That's 5 in a row, everybody. Welcome back. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. How about those Padres, man? Unbelievable weekend. It's good to be back with you guys. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good to see you, Benjamin.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you made a liar out of me on Friday. I did not enjoy misleading the tier one.
I didn't either, man. I really didn't either. I don't like. I've been pretty open and honest with the tier ones in all the time we've been together, but it was a very important lie. You know, it's like you teach your kids. Sometimes a little white lie is okay.
So if you missed it on Friday, I told everybody that Woods was under the weather, which was why he was not here with us to wrap up the week. But that was not true at all.
No, and it had to be a bit of an elaborate ruse. My dad was turned 70 on Saturday. And they were going to be in Austin at my brother Brent's house. And, man, you know, I just thought, I can't miss this dude's birthday. I can't miss his 70th. It's such a big one. And I love my dad so much. And the problem with him is, though, that dude listens to this radio show 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day. So the entire week leading up, we had to constantly remind each other, hey, don't say that I'm out. You guys were like, all right, we got to remember, don't say Woodsy's going to be out Friday. So we had to really play it like that. So I woke up Friday morning, you know, knowing I was flying out to Austin, Texas, and I put the show on. Now, listen, I saw some of you in the chat running your mouths. I did. I saw it, and it hurt. It stung. But I'll get over it. If you guys can get over the fact that I had to lie to you, because sure enough, man, my mom said they got in the car. They live in Tyler, Texas, and they had about a 4 or 5 hour drive. First thing my dad does, puts on the show. It's such a great way to kill 4 hours driving out. And he goes, where's Steven? And my mom goes, I don't know. I'll text him. So my mom texts me, hey, where are you? Now, she knows damn well where I am. We're getting ready to get on a plane, but I had to play along. I said, I'm not feeling good. My throat hurts. And my dad's like, oh, bummer, right? So we don't think anything of it. They finally get there. We get there. My brother picks us up. And, yeah, man, I posted it on Twitter and on my Instagram. We walked in. We had the kids and Hannah. The whole brood was there. Walked in and surprised my dad for his 70th, and he was really, really surprised. And it was awesome, man. It was awesome. The boys had such a good time. Got to see my nephews and my brother and my sister-in-law and my parents. It was great. It was really a special, fun trip. But I was not sick. I had to do it. I had to do it to you guys. So it was really, really rad. I got to tell you, though. I got to tell you. There's so much to tell you about Austin. Austin is a great city, number one.
I've been there once. I loved it.
It was
terrific. Yeah.
Fantastic city. Went down to Terry Black's barbecue on Saturday.
I was jealous. I saw that. I was jealous.
Oh my God, bro.
I was very, very jealous.
I mean, it's just next level. It's just there's just nothing close. I'm sorry. There's just nothing close to like Terry Black's. It was absolutely incredible. We ate really well when we were there, certainly. But you know, Hannah and I got our Whataburger breakfast, which is, don't eat the burgers at Whataburger, eat the breakfast. That's when I praise Whataburger, it's for the breakfast. It's never for the burgers. We went 2 days in a row. But I got to tell you guys about Texas Travel Ball. Holy smokes. My nephew Owen is 10 and plays on a team called the Mustangs. And he shows up ready for his game. And I went, good God, dude. His unis look like professional uniforms. They had little Mustangs on the back of the belt loop. The pants were perfect. The unis are sick. They got all the gear, all the swag. So I go out and see the team. And we go out to this facility. It's about 45 minutes away in Dripping Springs, which is a fantastic name for a city. So we go out to Dripping Springs. And we pull into this parking lot, Benny, that's the size of Qualcomm. And I go, look at this mecca of baseball. 7 fields, all lit, all turf, stunning, beautiful fields. I go, this is unbelievable. Hannah and I are walking, because, we play at Paul Ecke YMCA. They have a good field there. One decent field. And I'm looking at her going, this is it. This is the dream. This is the dream for sports parents. And sure enough, man, we walk up and I go, why are there people walking around with beers? Like, I understand. I know some moms probably they've hide a little wine in their, Stanley tumbler at the games. I'm hip to it. I see it. I'm walking by the concession stand and goes, hey, baby, they got clothes. You want a claw? All right. I'll get you one. Give me 4 of them berry. Let me get 4 of them berry claws.
That'd be White Claw?
Yeah, White Claw. I'll do a 6-pack of Budweiser. I'm like, what is happening? This is a 10U tournament. You're selling alcohol here. We're not there. 5 minutes. We set up our chairs. We're waiting for the game. We're waiting for the game before us to finish. Play at the plate. Guy calls him out. Safe. There's a dad walking out. He's got a long beard. Long beard. He's got a Budweiser in his hand, and he's walking towards us. You stupid mother effer son of a bitch. God dang it, mother. And I'm like,
oh my God.
What is happening? My mom goes, is he going to his truck to get a gun? Because that's what it looks like. He was mad at the ump. So he walks, and I'm looking, and he walks out. He's gone for about 10 minutes, and I see him walking back. I'm like, I think we're clear. I think he went to get another beer or shot of whiskey. I'm gonna go to my car. Get my other gun. I'm coming back. I'm killing everybody. So, but I'm not joking.
Raymond,
every dad there is just watching games, just fresh Budweiser in his hand. I'm like, this can't be good. This cannot be safe. This cannot be safe. I couldn't believe it, man. I truly was floored. I was talking to my brother about it, and I go, so what's the schedule? He goes, oh, okay, if we win these 2 tonight, then we play 3 tomorrow. And I go, hey, man, it's like 9:30 right now. Why am I seeing kids and their parents showing up to the fields? It's like 9:30 p.m. It's pitch black. They got the lights on the field. I go, we're leaving. My nephew, Owen, his team ended up winning the whole tournament, so congratulations to Owen. So it's 9:30. We're walking to our car. We're done for the night. We've been there 4 hours. They're coming in, bringing all their gear in. He goes, oh yeah, dude. He goes, some of the games are delayed. So they'll start a game at midnight. I go, they're 10 years old, dude. He goes, yeah, they really don't care. So now you got parents sucking down White Claws and Budweisers. You got midnight games. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, is this good? He's like, oh, we love it. I'm like, all right. Well, I don't know if this is the best idea, but I could not believe it. I mean, I was blown. Baby, you want claws? They got claws if you want one. I'll get you some. I mean, it was bat-ass
So what
crazy.
happens at high school football games then?
Yeah, what do you guys do at high school football games? Like
We're talking about 10-year-old travel baseball.
It was nuts. I'm not joking. And I tweeted it, and this is true. There were 2 cows in the distance. They were humping. I'm like, we are fully in Dripping Springs, Texas right now. I mean, we have fully arrived in Dripping Springs as I'm watching 2 cows mating out in center field, essentially. Let me tell you, though, these kids were so good. They were so good. This sweet kid, Jesse, he's the kid on the team, Ben, that gets asked for his birth certificate before every game. He is 10 years old.
Got to carry it with you.
His mom brings it with him. He lost his dad in an accident last year, a car accident. And he's about 6 feet tall, a tank. He hit 10. He hit Ben. He hit. AJ, go get him. Go get him, dude. Go get him. Guy hit 2 tanks. He hit 2 bombs. The center fielder at one point, he hits one. The center fielder didn't move. He just hung his head. It was so far. And then he hits third, and he does the cross and looks up to his dad. I lost it, dude. I lost it. And they're like, yeah, his dad passed away last year. Came in, pitched, throws about 75 from the 45 feet away. It was unbelievable, man. It's a different breed down there in Texas. But man, it was so wonderful to be able to see my family and my son Bo. Bo was so sad yesterday leaving. He loves his cousin so much, and it was emotional and really cool. And I'm glad we got to go. Thank you guys for covering for me and lying for me. But it was a special trip.
Jeff in the chat says, "Hey Woodsy, travel ball in San Diego is the exact same. Beer, late games, uniforms, etc. It's coming for you, dude. It's in your future."
Just lack of fields, I think, maybe is the problem. But I have to drive somewhere to play.
We don't have the land for the giant complexes. Now, the one in Oceanside that they just built, where the Front Wave Arena is pretty big and
do they have
spacious.
A good one there?
Yeah, it's more soccer, I think, oriented than baseball, but they do have some complexes here, but nothing like. I mean, in Texas, they just have like unlimited space to put these things up.
They have a church and a baseball facility on every corner and a Whataburger. That's it. That's all you need, I guess. So I can't believe it's really like that. You can buy booze at kids. I think there should be am I like a pearl clutcher to think that, because I'm not a pearl clutcher. You guys know me. I don't really get.
No, you're not.
I'm not at all. And there was something about it that I went, this doesn't sit right necessarily with me, because you already see a lot of like, I saw a lot of
There's a lot of anger that goes along
emotion
with, parents who put so much of their own value into the kids and whether they succeed in sports. So when, of course, occasionally they don't, some of the parents lose their minds, and you combine that with too much alcohol, and you could have some real problems, obviously. So I'm a little hesitant about the whole scene as well.
Look, I like I said, I'm hip to the fact that, you might sneak a little wine or a little margarita in a glass or something while you're watching a game or whatever. But those games take an hour and 10 minutes and you're back home. This is you're out there for 12 hours, a lot of days, and you're sucking down 10, 12 beers. I don't know if am I a pearl clutcher here? I have no idea. I can't imagine I can't imagine that that it ends well all the time.
I was gonna say, when you get the opportunity to promote alcohol at an event where there's a bunch of kids,
you got to take that shot.
You have to do it.
100%.
The money that's going to be generated
that's
there.
Wild, dude. That's wild. Like I've been to adult. I told Hannah,
I'm sure like the Pop Warner, the youth football is probably even 10 times that in Texas as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Teach makes a good point. All that with open carry laws there. So yeah, it's kind of dicey a little bit for me, man. I thought about it and I told Hannah, I go, so when me and Paulie and when we go play tournaments or anything like that, like they don't sell booze at adult tournaments. Like you can't come watch us play in Arizona and buy a cold beer if you watch. You couldn't. They don't allow it. Can't drink at the high school fields.
No.
Obviously. I said, so she's like, yeah, but this is like a sponsored event. I go, okay, but they're still little kids. Have I turned into like the old man now that like hates like hates fun or whatever? I guess, man. But anyway, so it was a little odd. It was a little odd seeing it, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. The quality of baseball was really, really good. It was really fun.
They do say everything is bigger in Texas.
You're not wrong.
For good and for ill sometimes. Yeah. But it's just a big old state.
It's a big place.
Stars at night, in fact, big and bright.
They were big and bright. We had a great time. There's so many things that I can only get in Texas that I can't get here. And those are really the things other than my family that I miss. I miss really, really good barbecue.
What'd you have at Terry Black's? Brisket?
So I got brisket. I got a brisket sandwich, actually.
Okay.
I got a brisket sandwich. I got a side of cream corn because it's ungodly.
Yeah, I didn't go to Terry Black's. We went to Franklin.
Franklin,
which was fantastic. But...
So I got the coleslaw. I got potato salad. I got banana pudding. I really went for it with the sides. I really like sides as much as the meat. And then I got Bo loves ribs. So I got him the biggest pork ribs you have ever seen in your entire. They're about $30 each. And he crushed both of them. We had such a good time. They don't sell Big Red here that I've been able to find.
That's like Dr. Pepper, but Texas.
No,
not Dr. Pepper. I thought it was Dr. Pepper.
No,
flavored.
I can't even tell you what. You've ever had Big Red?
I thought it was the gum.
Nope, it's not cinnamon soda. It's a red soda, which I think has been banned. I think Red Dye number 4 has been banned, so I was able to suck down a bunch of that before they banned it. It's almost like a cream soda, a red cream soda kind of.
Cherry? A little
no cherry,
just red.
It's so good.
Just unnaturally red
unnaturally red soda. It's really, really good. Whataburger, of course, I can't get here, so we have to. I get all the things that I can't get, and then I'm always so happy to fly back to San Diego. I mean, even yesterday was chilly and rainy and gray. And I just got so cozy when I flew in. I said, I'm glad to be home. But it was awesome, dude. It was a great trip. Austin's a great, great town. A great town. So much to do, so much to see. It was awesome, man. We had a great time.
All right. Well, it's good to have you back.
Good to be back. How did everything go?
I
heard you guys
Schilt
just
was good. Darren Smith was fantastic.
Was he good?
Joined us from Barcelona, Spain, with stories of the nude beach.
Yeah.
How was it?
Siesta. And
How was it the nude beach? Did
He
you say
said
it was horrible?
there was a point where, like, again, it's so normal for the locals that it's hard for us to wrap our heads around.
Sure.
He said there was a moment where his wife Leah and him were on the beach.
Were they nude?
They were nude.
They went nude?
And she said
yes.
He said there was a guy on the other side of Leah on the beach. He didn't really say how close. I imagine fairly close to her on his blanket, on his side with the hand under the ear, you know? And he asked, hey, would you like a drink? And she like turned over in the nude and was like, sure. And I was like, that had to have been a little bit uncomfortable.
He was that like laying close enough where he could extend his arm and give his nude wife
someone
else's nude wife a nude drink.
Yes.
Could you do it?
I don't think so.
Could you do it? Could you actually take your clothes and go, all right, babe, let's go in. Let's do this. And just lay on the beach and be like, that's just my dong. And I'm just here. And wouldn't you have your hand kind of like,
you're putting sunscreen on places you're not used to putting
it's
in.
so normal there.
You got to groom like a madman too. You can't just walk out and be like, here I am.
But I think that's what they do. They just walk out and just, here I am. And they don't have any qualms about it. They're just fine with it.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. And Schilt was good.
Yeah, Schilt was good. Yeah. I mean,
I liked your fake prank call for me in the morning. I was laughing pretty hard when I was getting ready. But again, I did see all you people running your mouths in the chat thinking that I bailed on work on a Friday. I did.
Well, you did.
But it wasn't for
for illness.
It was not.
It was good
illness.
reason.
Yeah, it was a good reason.
All right, we will set the menu for the program, obviously. Good weekend for your San Diego Padres. We'll get into the sweep of the Pittsburgh Pirates and much more coming up. First, though, Woods, I'm sure you're glad to be back home to your beloved Eco Water.
You know, it is funny that you say that because I actually am. And every time I do leave and I come back, I know that I have the world's best water waiting for me. And it does make a difference. You know, it really, really does. We've had the Eco Water system for going on about a year and a half now in our house. It's such a plug and play. I mean, they put it in, they install it, they do such a great job, and then you forget about it. And I will say, like, you kind of take it for granted when you don't have it. And it's been phenomenal. Eco Water, we trust them. They've been keeping water soft since 1925. They have very, very hard water in Texas. And at my brother's house, trying to get the shampoo out of my hair, you can't do it, man. I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference when you got the Eco Water system in your house. Clean water also deserves clean air. They got state-of-the-art air purification, removes 99.99% of pollutants. We got pure water, fresh air, and a happy family. All thanks to Eco Water SoCal. Call them today. They'll give you a free in-home water test. It will blow you away when you see what you're actually drinking and bathing your children in. Try the Soft Life alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Call 760-350-3338 or visit ecowatersocal.com. Tell them Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water, keeping it soft since 1925.
Good morning.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Got some good news. Got some not so great news. The good news. Jackson Merrill is expected to return to the San Diego Padres today after a couple of days at Double-A San Antonio.
Hi, this is Jackson Merrill.
The Padres have survived without Jackson Merrill. It was a little dicey for a while, but won their last 5 games and still managed to have the second best record in baseball.
Crazy.
Behind only the LA Dodgers after Jackson Merrill's stint on the injured list. The not so great news, just like Pittsburgh, the weather in New York looks quite dicey. Got a text this morning from my buddy Scott who lives there. He said, I'll be your correspondent. I just walked outside. Doesn't look very good.
Ooh.
Does not look great today. There's rain all day long in the forecast, increasing as the day goes on in New York City. So
Cool.
Once again, just like in Pittsburgh, the Padres may be dealing with adverse weather, potential delays. They did get those games in Pittsburgh, and they do find a way to usually play those games. But, it's not looking great today. It's not looking great tomorrow either in the Bronx. So, once again, another
triple header
series
on Wednesday
impacted by weather. And I don't know if the Yankees also have an off day on Thursday, whether you could bump one to Thursday if you had to. But And then the Padres go to Colorado for games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Weather actually looks very nice in Denver over the weekend, although that changes hourly in the Rocky Mountains, so a little early to tell. But yeah,
I mean, obviously,
unfortunately, a little weather tonight.
I always feel bad for the players, right? Because it's kind of a beating. You know, you're already traveling and you're pretty beaten up, and it's a long flight out to Pittsburgh, and
Yankees are off on Thursday.
Yankees are off Thursday. So, yeah, I do feel bad for the players, but I'll tell you who I really feel bad for. It's the broadcasters, man. I do. It's the Sammy Levitts of the world. Now you're sitting there, you're like, all right, I guess I have to show up at the regular time, and then I need to vamp after my, pregame show. I'll vamp for an hour and a half, maybe 2, maybe 3. They could do it like they do it at Texas Travel Bowl. Like Paulie said, just play 3 games, start at midnight if you have to. If a 10-year-old kid can do it on a Sunday night, you're telling me the grown-ass adults that make $20 million a year, they can't do it?
They'd probably rather do it. The reason why they're, of course, so loath to play doubleheaders and extra late games is not really for the players. It's the money. They want all the money. They lose money when they have doubleheaders. You don't get as many fans in. They want to try to play every game, and they'll wait it out because they want to make sure they get the ticket revenue for each game individually, as opposed to having to combine them or play on a day when it was supposed to be an off day, and you just don't get as many people into the stands on days like that. So that's what the Padres are once again facing. I mean, you go to the East Coast in May, this is quite common.
Tessa in our chat says, poor Sammy, he was asking for content ideas from listeners.
I don't blame him, bro.
He was getting testy about it. I'm sorry, I'm in a bad mood. All these rain delays and all this extra time to fill.
Man.
He was definitely getting a little testy over the weekend.
Here's the guy's interview with Andy Ashby from Fantasy Camp in 2021. Enjoy. Bro, you have no idea what I would have done. I seriously would have been. I would have been so panicked.
So what do you guys want to talk about?
All right, taking your requests here.
The topic wheel is open.
We should loan Sammy
I should
our
hook him
topic.
up with a topic
loan
wheel.
Sammy our topic wheel, and it's probably a little bit. It's dusty. We haven't spun it in a while. Probably need to put a little WD-40 on that ass, and we'll give it to Sammy, and he can use that. That's actually a really good idea, Paulie. I do feel bad for those guys, man, and it's just those long days of waiting. And you're trying to get the starting pitcher is in the chamber, right? You're like, I got a game to pitch, and you're delayed like 4 hours, man. So change your entire routine. It's tough, and it sucks for us too, the fans. We want our Padres baseball when we build our day around.
I think the worst part, if I was doing Sammy's job, is that even like right now, you could almost tell sometimes. Like in the morning, you're like, there's no chance we're playing this game.
Not on time.
Guess what? You still have to do the pregame show.
Still got to do the pregame show.
You have to do the hour pregame show. Here's our keys to the game and our pitching preview, knowing there's a 1% chance this game actually gets played.
Yeah, no doubt.
You still got to go through the whole routine.
I got to remember, if he's dying tonight, I may call in and try to help him fill a segment or two.
That would be nice.
It would be nice move, I think. Yeah, class
what is it? 3:05 pregame start.
All right.
Oh, he's texting us with a little update. Yeah, he said, I didn't do a single second of pre-recorded content this weekend.
Good for you, dude.
Nice job, Sammy.
Absolute stud.
Nice job. Let me just do an abridged menu for you because I want to get to the Wrap-Up. The 5 wins in a row remix Wrap-Up coming up with the highlights, Jesse and Tony. It's a Dennis Lynn Monday. He'll join us at 8:35 from The Athletic. We also, we have Padres tickets to give away for when they come back. Wow. They don't
all week long.
They're not even home for a week. And we got tickets for the reversible bucket hat game coming up on Wednesday, May 14th. So your chance to win Padres tickets, we'll figure out how we're going to do those during the break, and we'll let you know when we come back with more Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Padres gone all week, but that just is an opportunity to head down to 7 Mile Casino and sit down at one of the fantastic card tables that they've got. Texas Hold'em, they've got California-style blackjack, baccarat, Pai Gow poker, and enjoy the phenomenal atmosphere that you get only at 7 Mile Casino.
Played a little blackjack on my phone on the plane, and
pales.
Let's just say it's not even close to the feeling that you get sitting down at 7 Mile Casino playing California style blackjack. No, it's got everything you're looking for at 7 Mile. It's a smoke-free environment, which is clutch. They got great food, great drinks, great dealers, friendly staff, beautiful view out on the patio of the bay, and the best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Yep, TVs all over the place. So if the game's on, they will have them on, and you can enjoy just high limit action as well. If you are a player and you want to play some high limit card action, they will spread some games for you with great dealers, comfortable seats. Love it there at 7 Mile Casino. Plus, you don't have to drive all the way out into the East County. It is so easy to get to, right down the 5 in Chula Vista. It is 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
Got one of those corporate emails warning me not to do anything
Untoward.
Culturally insensitive on Cinco de Mayo, reminding everybody that it's an important Mexican holiday, but it's not their Independence Day.
No, it's definitely not.
That's in September.
Okay.
And you just have to be careful. You don't want to make a fool of yourself on air.
I was trying to think about how we could get you canceled today.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even think.
There was an ABC anchor who did like a Cinco de Drinko bit with the sombrero and the margarita on air, and she got in trouble for it. So we're trying to
Cinco de Drinko,
right?
By the way,
so we're trying not to
19 years
do
old.
that.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be celebrating Cinco de Mayo tonight.
I don't have anything planned.
Nor do I.
No.
Well, if you do celebrate, be careful. Have fun.
Someone will be celebrating winning some Padres tickets later this morning. When that is totally up to Paul Reindl, because if you're interested in winning a pair of tickets to Padres versus Angels next Wednesday, May 14th, for the reversible bucket hat night, Paulie's got a sounder for you, and he's going to play it now. And then the next time you hear it, you'll call 833-288-0973, and the fifth caller will win the pair of tickets for the retro reversible bucket hat night against the Angels. And of course, with Jackson returning, our sounder is Merrill Madness. Boom. All right, next time you hear Donnie say Merrill Madness, it'll be your cue to call in at 833-288-0973. Padres swept the Pirates, though, with no Jackson Merrill, no Jake Cronenworth over the weekend. Playing well, won 5 in a row, and we will wrap it up right after this check of traffic with Kelly Danick here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Accident has cleared on southbound 805 at the East State Connector ramp. We still have this other crash, though, northbound 5 just past Balboa. Some vehicles over the right shoulder and some in the center divide. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Wrap-Up.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep. One to Bogarts, hit hard on the ground to the left side, underneath of Hayes' glove into left field. Machado rounding third. He's going to come in to score, and the Padres take a 1-0 lead here in the first. 2-2 again to Diaz, leading off in the second inning, and he launches one in the air to deep left field. Tommy Pham going back, still on the move. He's at the wall, leaping up, can't get it, a home run. Elias Diaz with his third of the year to straightaway left here at PNC. And the Padres double the lead. It's 2-0. No balls and a strike to pitch. And Bogart swings, hits it on a line to left field. That's a fair ball. Going to bounce and roll all the way to the wall. Lockridge walks home. Arise rounding third on his way. There will be a relay to the plate, but it's got no chance to get him as he slides in. And now Bogart says the throw got through the catcher Davis. Heads to third base, a 2-run double, and a 4-0 Padre lead. Hard hit liner from O'Neill Cruz up the middle, and Bogarts from the outfield grass handles it on one hop and throws him out. 2-2. Here's the pitch, and McCutchen swings and misses. Strike 3. Adams strikes out the pinch hitter to end the game, and the Padres have once again swept the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, he was really good. Threw the ball for 5+ and controlled the strike zone, had a good life to it, and got us some quick outs and did a really, really good job.
When he's coming in, he's making his first big league start. Is that what you kind of were like, okay, we can get this guy into the 6th and get to my bullpen, then I feel pretty good about today?
I feel good about that every day.
Mike Schultz.
Schultzy.
Talking about Stephen Kolek, 5 1/3 innings.
Feel good about that every day.
I love it.
Every single day, Ace Man.
4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And indeed, getting the win in his
Every
first big league
goddamn
start.
day.
Congratulations to Stephen Kolek.
He crushes me every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day. Man, fantastic work by Stephen Kolek. Much maligned Stephen Kolek last year. We probably said it. We definitely saw it. Why is he on the roster? Rule of 5. We're back in the Rule of 5 days. Just give this guy back to Seattle, blah, blah, blah. They saw something in him. And he did show a lot of flashes last year of like, ooh, man, okay, he's got that in the arsenal, and apparently has worked incredibly, incredibly hard, Ben. And they said, hey, man, you're not. After a really good spring, they said you're not breaking with the camp. Sorry, like we're gonna roll with Kyle Hart right now, and need a little different look for a lefty, and you're gonna have to wear this one right now and continue to work on your craft. And he did, and to come up and get his first big league start. Granted, guys, I get it. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates. That being said, they still got some dangerous guys in their lineup, and I thought he navigated it really, really well. Really well.
First, couple of things. As Mike Schilt shared with us on Friday, he actually broke a little news.
Oh, did he?
Doesn't do often, but the juggling of the starting rotation. Instead of waiting to have Kolek face the Yankees on Tuesday, they moved that day up to Sunday so they could have Pivetta, King, and Cease go against the Yankees.
Well, it's that strategy we talked about last week, Benny, on the roundtable of like, okay, they did this for the Giants. They're doing it for the Yankees. They're doing it against the teams, the better teams that they feel maybe.
And the more I think about it, I don't know if it was so much to line up your best pitchers against the Yankees, but give Stephen Kolek
a little softer landing
for his first start.
Yeah.
Other than, hey, there's Aaron Judge. Welcome to your first start, Stephen.
Yeah, and you're pitching in a bandbox.
Yeah,
and oh, by the way, there may be massive rain delays and everything else, and like it was a good soft landing.
And there were a couple
of
of balls that might have been homers at Yankee Stadium that were not in Pittsburgh that worked out for Stephen, but he threw well. He said after the game, starting in the big leagues is a totally different animal because every time you go through that order, it gets tougher and tougher. And I thought really good insight on the television broadcast yesterday with Don and Mud as they talked about how Michael King has kind of passed along the knowledge that Joe Musgrove passed along to him about
that was cool.
When to try to get a quick out, when to try to get a strikeout as you're facing guys multiple times, how to set them up in the first at-bat, for the second at-bat, and the third at-bat. The things that you don't really have to think about. When you're a reliever and you're coming in for one inning, go for strikeout. Empty the tank, give it everything you've got. But you can't do that as a starter. No. You've got to get some quick outs. You've got to know, what the situation calls for. And Michael King has been, mentoring Stephen Kolek when it comes to what it takes to be a successful starter. And first test, passed with flying colors against the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday.
I can't say this enough, man. So you stare down the barrel of a 9-game road trip, man. That's a long trip, and fraught with peril of man. You don't really want to drop a game to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're not having a good season. We feel like we're a better team. Ben, you've just taken a 9-game road trip, my friend, and you've turned it into a 6-game road trip with 3 straight wins. Now you're 3-0 on the road. So now you go 500 the rest of the way. You've had a 6-3 road trip,
which is what I think we were hoping for.
It's the dream.
5-4, 6-3. We're going. That's not bad on this East Coast tough trip. And now all you have to do is split your 6 games. Get there.
That's right. I mean, you just can't. You can't overstate it enough how important that sweep was. Handling business against the lesser teams is what great teams do. You've seen the Dodgers do it recently with great fanfare, right? Going in and just handling the Marlins and teams like that, right? No problem. Like that's what you have to do. You have to run through those teams. And again, taking a 9-gamer, now turning it into, all right, let's go 4-2 in the rest of the way here, which is absolutely on the table. Hell, 6-0 is on the table with the way that they're playing right now, certainly. But yeah, man, you've guaranteed yourself with good play, with a good solid record the next 6 games, you've guaranteed yourself a really nice road trip coming home. So you can't go crazy and drop the next 6. That would be terrible, but you don't feel like they're going to do that against the Yankees or the Rockies.
Elias Diaz with his 3rd home run of the season. And, for everybody, and I'll throw my name into the hat here.
All of us.
That, said, hey, a mistake to let Kyle Higashioka go. At least so far in the early going, Elias Diaz has slightly outperformed Kyle Higashioka. 3 home runs versus 1 home run. Better OPS, I think better defensively. Kyle Higashioka was a mediocre catcher behind the plate. No, Elias Diaz is not going to the All-Star game for sure, but I think he's been better than we kind of expected when they started. Maldonado's been all right.
He's hurt too, by the way.
So far so good with the Padres catching core. Again, for an 8 or 9 hitter, which is what they've been, it hasn't been too bad. And, credit to AJ Preller for doing something that we all kind of criticized in the offseason that's worked out all right for the San Diego Padres so far.
Absolutely. And again, the way that he's handled the pitching staff cannot go without praise. It just can't. And getting, Stephen Kolek through his first start, the way that he's worked with Michael King as well, Benny, he deserves a lot of credit, and he should get a lot of credit so far.
The Stars also came through. Xander Bogaerts capping a pretty good weekend with a 2-for-4, 3 RBI performance. His second 3 RBI game of the week after having none since 2023. That was good. And then Manny Machado has quietly started to heat up as well. 3-for-4 with a walk yesterday, getting his OPS over 800 now for the season. And there are signs that as May hits, Manny could be going into one of his, all right, Manny's starting to get locked in. Even after he started yesterday's game with a bloody nose and an 0-1 count.
All right, so I was at the airport going through security, longest security line in history. Finally sat down, and I put the game on. Now I missed this. What happened? Why did he have a bloody nose? What happened?
So he wasn't in the on deck circle when Arise was up to bat.
Okay,
and Rise, whatever, he's done. So Manny's up, and they're just waiting, and their camera's kind of panning around. You're like, what's going on? And they said that the umpire was like calling for Manny to get out there, and they said it looks like he might have a bloody nose because he was working on his nose. He was shoving some tissue or whatever up there, trying to stop the bleeding. And they showed him, it looked like he was on the steps or right by the dugout. He's like, give him 1 sec. I'm coming right now. 1 sec. Just got to shove this up there and get to go.
I got a bloody nose.
And the umpire said, sorry, buddy, we got a clock here. And so they banged him for a strike.
In Little League, they shut that whole thing down with the bloody nose, right?
Yeah.
Like they're going to bang you for a strike in the big league.
So it's a 0-1 count. Manny finally steps into the box, down a strike already, and just ropes the very first pitch he sees right down the left field line.
Amazing. He's like, oh, okay. All right, 0-1. No problem. Yeah, man, I was able to catch most of yesterday's game. We took off. I think we were up 4-0, and when we landed, made sure to check that we did, in fact, win that game. It was a big one to complete the sweep. Beat a couple lefties too, Ben, which was kind of the knock against the San Diego Padres. Even though Bailey faltered, and we'll talk about that game coming up, even though he looked really, really good, and Manny touched him up and got the Pods on the board. But yeah, Andrew Haney, who had been dominant this season, they got to him early and were at bullpen was brilliant.
Could have scored quite. They left the bases loaded twice. Could have really broken the game open early. And sometimes it comes back to haunt you when you don't add on. And the Padres, get those 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and were never able to add on. Doesn't matter, though, with the pitching staff and the bullpen that the Padres had.
And the 8th shutout for the San Diego Padres.
Which ties the MLB record through 33 games. Padres are 22-11 with 8 shutouts. And it hasn't been done since 1972, the last time a team had 8 shutout wins. So we're going back to the, almost to the higher mound, deader ball era, the last time you've seen this many shutouts. And, really the Padres starters have been good, but I wouldn't say great. Michael King's been great a couple of times. Nick Pavetta's been really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But it's a bullpen that, hey, if you ask a starter to get you 5 shutout innings, a lot of guys will occasionally give you 5 shutout innings. It's taking that home the last 4 that's usually the hard part. But once again, this time it was Jeremiah Estrada, Adrian Morejon, Wandy Peralta in a slightly higher leverage situation. He got a 1.35 ERA this season.
Been fantastic
for Wandy
man.
Peralta. And then Jason Adam. I saw some people complaining that Mike Schilt went to a higher leverage reliever in a 4-0 game against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No problem with
Adam did get into a little bit of trouble there. The on-deck circle, the tying run came up. Robert Suarez started kind of loosening it up just a little bit. But then, of course, Adam got out of the jam and finished it off as the Padres win it 4-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirates, their 5th consecutive win. And, of course, remember, that comes on the heels of that 4-game losing streak. I mean, it's not often that you can immediately erase all the damage that you did and then some.
Luis Arraez, MVP?
He certainly has made a difference returning. I mean, I don't think it's just a coincidence, Paul, that the Padres play better with Luis Arraez. I mean, you saw it's the vibes. I mean, there are tangible vibes somehow with Luis Arraez back in the lineup. So Manny hugging him the other night, and just how it seems to change things. Plus, he's also red hot. I mean, he started out, what was it, 0 for 17, something like that. He's hitting 306 now. And that's with I don't think there's anyone else in baseball that has an 0 for 16 Jag who's hitting over 300 like Luis Arraez is. So he's made a big difference in his return to the lineup. And I can only imagine that Jackson Merrill will make a similar impact upon his return, hopefully today, for the San Diego Padres.
It's so sexy, the thinking about Jackson Merrill back in the lineup and just how much longer the lineup gets with him in it. I mean, it's like adding 2 players essentially. And I'm so excited to see his return. And hopefully he continues to mash like he's been doing down on his rehab assignment, hitting the ball hard, running hard. Leg seems to be feeling great. So knock on wood that these guys can all stay healthy for a while.
I will say I liked having Lockridge in the 9 spot, assuming Merrill probably in there.
He had some big hits this weekend, too.
Even against the left, he did. I wouldn't mind seeing Iglesias drop to 9, leave Diaz at the 8 spot when he's catching.
This catcher at the 9 is making me nuts. It's like it's just kind of clogs it up. But oh well, man. I can't complain about a 5-game win streak right now. Second best record in baseball.
All right, we'll come back. More Padres talk from the rest of the weekend in Pittsburgh. Don't Do This is ahead as well. Then what's continuing on a Monday morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Woods and I are very excited to talk about a Saturday night's Padres game. You know, when you sweep a bad team, generally how it goes is you have a couple of fairly easy wins. The Padres had a 5-run win and a 4-run win. But there's one that you gotta sneak out. You rarely in Major League Baseball just clobber a team 3 times in a row. And the Saturday game was the key, and we'll talk about that. And Fernando's basically single-handedly delivering a victory for the San Diego Padres on Saturday evening.
The Nando ninth is what they're calling it in the chat.
It was a busy Saturday, though. We also had SDFC.
How about those guys?
I saw much of the game on Saturday with a 5-0 win over FC Dallas.
Wow. They needed that.
Yeah, bounce back from 3 straight losses and their first losing streak in franchise history to get a big win past FC Dallas in the standings and kind of stabilize a little bit. Really, Chucky had 2 goals in the first half, 2 assists in the second half. Stars being stars. Anders Dreyer scored in the second half as well. Milan Olaski, the San Diego native, had his first goal with the SDFC as well. So really, really outstanding performance for SDFC on Saturday night. I don't know if you got to check out any of it. I watched some of the game and was very impressed by how they looked.
I kept looking at the score because I was sitting watching the baseball tournament, and I had the Padres on my phone. And, the Padres game certainly was dicey. The SDFC game was not dicey at all. I mean, you just felt like completely in control the entire game, and a huge, huge win, getting off the schneid a little bit for SDFC, try to build on that as they move forward, Benny. But, yeah, man, that Padre game had me. I was watching my nephew play, which is pretty nerve-wracking because he was pitching. And that is, I don't know how I'm going to handle it when my kids pitch. This is my nephew, and I was sick to my stomach, dude. Like, it's going to be really, really tough. But I'm watching – sitting in the chair, watching out for foul balls, drunken Texans, drinking White Claws and Budweisers all around me, and I got the Padres game on, and holy cow, man, what a game it was. Manny's bomb off of Falter in the 8th. Was it 7th or 8th?
7th inning to tie the score at 1-1 after Falter had been
incredible.
So good. One hit, really, I mean, it was untouchable for most of that game.
They had one hit, and it was
Maldonado,
Martin
liner up the middle.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there going, oh, God, come on, guys, not again. Don't let this guy get to you. And you feel bad a little bit for Bailey Falter. If you're Bailey Falter, you're like, man, I just pitched my heart out and ended up losing this game. And
Manny's hardest hit ball all year, 114 miles an hour.
Yeah, just absolutely smoked it. It was one of those Manny Machado home runs that as soon as it left the bat, you're like, yes, finally. All right, buddy. Let the power
and remember
come.
that for all the Manny critics who say, "Oh, no, he only hits home runs when it doesn't matter."
Right.
Remember that
That's
one because that was a huge one that mattered for the San Diego Padres.
And it's funny though because in the 9th inning he had a chance to, after Fernando gets on hustle double, right? Steals third.
Not just a hustle double. I like an incredibly savvy double because the Pirates were playing the no doubles defense, which means the left fielder is playing a little deeper and a little more to the gap. And Fernando basically just hit a ground ball single past the third baseman, which is a single for 99% of players in Major League Baseball. Yep. But Fernando sees where the outfielder is playing, just absolutely takes off like a shot out of the box. He's thinking double all the way. And it turned out not to even be that close of a play at second base. That's a really smart, heady baseball play in a situation like that for Fernando to get that extra base on that hit.
Yeah, and then steals third, and Manny has a chance to win it there, couldn't get it done.
And that steal was also, the first 2 pitches, Bednar was all over him. Like, I am not letting him steal. I'm not letting him steal. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what Fernando saw, but Bednar just lost him for like a second, and that was it. That's all it took for him to steal third.
Well, and it's funny because, again, like we roasted Fernando last week for the exact same play, but it was earlier in the game, right? It was like first inning. He runs into an out at third base.
But it made sense with one out because he thought, I can get there with Manny still up and he can drive me in with an out. Then he said that after the game. It's like, okay, this is the time where you want to try it because you can score without the benefit of a hit.
Correct.
Now, Manny was already down 0-2, which was tough, and then he ended up striking out looking, which was too bad. But, Fernando was then sitting there at third, ready to take advantage of what happened after that. And Paulie's got all the calls, and I thought we could go through what Fernando did because, again, you've got David Bednar on the mound, who's got that nasty splitter, but sometimes can put it into the dirt. And Fernando is thinking about that and ready to pounce if the opportunity arises. And the first pitch the opportunity arose.
And Bogarts takes in the dirt. Fernando's going to try and score. Bart picks it up, lunges for him, and he's safe. Oh, what a play! Fernando came home on a ball in the dirt that kicked maybe 2 feet away from the catcher. Bart went up the first baseline to grab it, lunged to try and tag him out, and apparently missed. Obviously, the Pirates will challenge it, but for the moment, the Padres ahead 2-1. And if this thing stands, Fernando Tatis Jr. just produced the go-ahead run all on his own.
Welcome to the Fernando Tatis Jr. show.
Dude, yeah, challenge these nuts. He was completely safe.
I was just more like 5 feet away from Joey Bart.
It
than
wasn't
2 feet. It wasn't far though. Yeah.
When Joey Bart went to get it, and when he fell flat on his face, I'm like, he's gonna beat it. He's gonna beat it. He fell flat on his face and to get back up and go back for the dive. If he
was in that no man's land, do I toss it to the pitcher or do I reach back? Is that going to take longer than me just diving back? I think he made the right choice.
I do too.
Just couldn't get Fernando.
I did too. He went nuts.
All right, that was Jesse and Tony here on 97.3.
That was
Fan.
the good. Now here's what it sounded like for the Pirates broadcast. Not as fun as you can imagine.
Now trying to get through Xander Bogarts. Here comes Tatis to the plate, and he's going to be in there. What a daring maneuver by Tatis.
The guy in the background. A little tough to get the words out, and then you hear the guy in the background. Oh,
I need that one again because he fumbles this.
Yeah, one more time.
Here comes Tatis to the plate, and he's going to be in there. What a daring maneuver by Tatis.
I'm sure we're going to look at that on replay, but wow, you're right. What a daring play. I thought for sure they were going to get him
to the plate. Here he comes to the.
Here comes Tatis to the plate, and he's going to be in there.
And he's going to be in there. Oh my God!
Boy, if he could go back and read, I'm going to do a redo on that. Here comes Fernando Tatis to the plate, and
here comes Tatis to the plate, and he's going to be in there.
And credit, because Jesse is more familiar with Fernando's. Style of play, I'd imagine that he was more prepared for something like that, where the Pirates are going, wait, what? He's not coming home on a ball that gets 3 feet away from the catcher. There's no chance. And then all of a sudden he's there. You're not ready for that call.
Can we call it home splate for the rest of our lives?
Home splate?
And he's going to. Here comes Tatis to the plate, and he's going to.
And he's going to be in there.
Safe is the word.
He's going to be in there.
Safe is the word you're looking
and he's
for.
Going to be in there.
Be in there. That is fan-freaking-tastic.
Well, and then, of course, we save the best for last. Mr. Don Orsillo.
Oh,
I got asked at least 10 times. Did you save Don Orsillo's call? Did you save Don Orsillo's? Hey, Paulie, did you save Don Orsillo saying, well, this?
In the dirt, and here comes Fernando. He will be safe. He got in. He didn't get far away from Joey Bart, the catcher, and Fernando sneaks in the back door. Padres take the lead.
Feels real good.
That was awesome.
Feels real good.
Fernando sneaks in the back door.
Yeah, that's probably like a 3 seed.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
2-3 seed.
Yeah.
Next year.
Before the game on Saturday, the Padres surprised us a little bit by calling up Luis Campusano to serve as the designated hitter for Saturday and Sunday, and possibly today with another lefty, 3 straight lefties going up against the Padres. And we had talked about it last week, Woods, that Campy was hitting really well.
Yep.
And I think we both kind of agreed they probably should call him up, but I don't think they're going to put him behind the plate. And that's exactly what the plan seems to be. Luis Campusano is not back in the big leagues as a catcher. He's back as a right-handed hitting designated hitter, essentially replacing Yuli Gurriel, who was DFA'd obviously last month. So now
elected free agency, by the way,
and he's gone through the organization. So the Padres will now probably be using Campy as their DH against lefties for the time being at least.
Put together a couple good at bats.
Didn't get any hits, but had some walks.
Couple walks, 3 walks in 2 games. So I mean, yeah, get on base and see what happens for the guys behind you. And yeah, man, fine. Like, good luck and need you to come through. And like you said, you're gonna have Rodon tonight. You're gonna have Max Fried in a couple nights, I think, for the Yankees. They're throwing some good pitching at you as well. Gonna need right-handed bats to do their job.
The Tatis steal, by the way, was his 100th of his career.
100 bombs, 100 homers.
Celebrated that after the game. It was 7th fastest into the 100 club. And
Fernando sneaks in the back door.
It's Hall of Famers left and right in that club. Fernando posing after the game, picture with the base, obviously authenticated and probably sending it to Cooperstown at some point for their archives, which is a nice moment for Tatis, who talked about how he's trying to be more strategic on the stolen bases. He would love to have a 40-40 season, but he's not just stealing to steal.
Yeah.
He's going to do it in times where he thinks it makes a difference in the game. And obviously it made a huge difference in the game on Saturday night. Another great night for the bullpen as well. 4 hitless innings for the bullpen, including Robert Suarez with his 13th save. Jason Adam got the win. He's 3-0. He pitched, obviously, back-to-back days. It was nice that they were able to stay away from Suarez last night, even though he did, as we mentioned, get up in relief. But that was the one that could have gone either way in that series against the Pirates. And you got that one. Ended up turning into the 3-game sweep over the weekend in Pittsburgh.
My bad. I guess we do not see Max Fried this weekend, which is this week, which is ultimately a very good thing. You got
Rodon. Let's see, I got the matchups, at least at ESPN. Nick Pivetta against Carlos Rodon. All these are 4:05 scheduled first pitches. Then tomorrow, Michael King against Clark Schmidt.
Yeah.
And then game 3, Dylan Cease against Carlos Carrasco.
Cookie Carrasco. Okay. Yeah, good. You missed Fried. You got 2 righties and a lefty in there. Getting Jackson Merrill back allegedly tonight. We have not seen the official
no confirmation
statement yet, but that's the rumor. It's word around the campfire.
Yeah. The Yankees, Anthony Volpe is day-to-day with a sore shoulder. They think he's okay. They held him out yesterday.
Jazz Chisholm's out with an oblique, so they're missing some pieces right now in New York. But again, I mean, look, you all know. You know the guy in the New York Yankees lineup. He's the best player in baseball right now, and it's Aaron Judge. He's the best player on the planet. And you can save your Shohei takes or anything. There's nobody better than Aaron Judge right now. He is hitting 437 or something, and just hitting the ball out of the ballpark and playing good defense and doing what he does. He is really coming to his own, baby.
Yeah,
so I don't know how you. Yeah. Oh, Trent Grisham, by the way, who is lights out as well. Sure, he wouldn't mind touching up some Padres pitching as well. But yeah, man, they got some good players. They're obviously the best team in the AL right now, so going to be a tough challenge.
Yeah, we'll have more on the Padres Yankees series coming up later in the day. Dennis Lynn from The Athletic will join us coming up at 8:35. When we come back, though, don't and do this. And we don't talk a ton of hockey.
Boy, you're watching games like that. Maybe we should. Holy cow.
Pretty spectacular Game 7 last night north of the border. If you missed it, we'll get into that. Coming up after a check of traffic with Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Speaking of the hockey playoffs, the basketball playoffs, great way to do prize picks lineups because there's games every single night. A lot of intensity, a lot of meaning. So the stars are going to be out there, and those are the guys generally you're putting in your prize picks lineup. It's just you against the numbers. You can join over 10 million prize picks members who have won billions of dollars in winnings already with prize picks. All you do is set lineups between 2 and 6 players, however you want, how often you'd like. You can do multiple lineups a night, do 1 or 2 a week. That's generally how I play. When I feel like I've got a strong feeling about a couple of guys, then I'll put them into a lineup, whether it's basketball or baseball or any other sports. And then you can win up to 2,000 times your cash in a single lineup with Prize Picks. And again, Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. Just download the app at prizepicks.com. Use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. So play throughout the playoffs on free money with KWFN as the code. Download the app, get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. It's easy to do. It's fun to play. I've been doing it for the last, 8-9 months. Really enjoying Prize Picks. Join me. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I'll throw a DDT on myself before we even get started. And thanks to the tier ones in the chat pointing out ESPN's info a little outdated. Carlos Carrasco pitched in relief yesterday. So now, according to Yankees.com and MLB.com, Max Fried is scheduled to start on Wednesday with his 1.01 ERA.
Wow.
He's really been the by far the best Yankees pitcher so far this season, and a lefty to boot, although the Padres beat him in the playoffs. So,
yeah,
you know, they've handled Max Fried before. So that should be Dylan Cease against Max Fried now on Wednesday in the series finale.
Yeah, we'll talk some Dylan Cease coming up here on the program as well.
First, though, Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Yes, leave your estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. All right, I will start with a story out of Philadelphia. And we don't talk a lot of Barstool on our show. It's just not an outlet that I tend to love all the content. I like some of their golf stuff sometimes, but bad look. Really, 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 really bad look for Dave Portnoy and Barstool. So they have...
Wait. Not for them.
Well, it was their bar.
Well, yeah, but they didn't do it.
Well, I mean, the picture that came out.
Oh,
so they've got a bar in Philadelphia, Sansom Street, Barstool. You know, they've invested in all kinds of different outlets, including sports bars. And there was a picture that came out of one of their waitresses holding up, looks like one of those movie marquee signs you put in the letters. And it's a just horribly
standard at a nightclub or a bar.
Yeah,
anti-Semitic sign.
He's never gotten bottle service in his life. He has no idea.
Good
you know,
I
have never.
No, usually, hey, happy bachelorette party, or happy birthday.
Ben.
So yes,
you get a sign.
Yes, as they bring out your bottle, they bring a sign, and you can craft the message.
Correct. You could put hot beef on it.
Right.
You could put loose cannabis,
which would be fine.
Would be great.
Hot beef.
Right.
But I think that should have been something that was stopped by the management, the manager, the assistant manager, the waitress, anybody would have said, no, we can't put that on a sign and traipse it through our bar, no matter how much you're spending.
Yeah, you go to
bottle
Petco Park.
service.
Bo's got a birthday party or something. You can pay
message on the jumbo
a message, happy birthday, Bo. You don't get to just pay a certain amount and then put whatever you want out there.
It's blank the Jews.
Yes, it's
and they're holding it up, dancing around, and of course, by the way, filming the whole thing. Of course, they were filming the whole thing. Of course, they were.
So
why wouldn't they?
Dave Portnoy, who ultimately owns all of this and is the guy responsible, said he spent all Sunday morning tracking down everybody involved.
Also Jewish, by the way.
Admitting he spoke to one of the waitresses, who he says has to be one of the dumbest people he's ever spoken to.
I watched the whole rant. It was bananas.
He adds that he believes they've already been fired.
He fired the two waitresses. They're gone. And then he tracked down who he thinks
was kind of
authored the sign.
And his plan, he says he is going to, I think, out of his own pocket.
Well, his plan originally was, I'm going to destroy their lives.
Right.
And he's like, I'm on a mission.
Or whatever. Yeah.
But instead, he has decided, I think out of his own pocket, to send them on a educational trip to Poland to visit the Auschwitz concentration camp and learn about the Holocaust and learn about, what you're writing about and what all this is, to try to make hopefully the world a little more understanding and better place. So I don't know, good response, I guess, to a very bad situation.
It was, I mean, the audio, probably it would have taken him a month to edit it, because he was obviously very, very hot about it, as he should have been. But yeah, man, that's not something you want going down at one of your establishments, or really anywhere, honestly. This is one that just dropped this morning. Cleveland Browns linebacker Devin Bush. He was a top 10 pick in the 2019 NFL draft out of Michigan. He was arrested on Sunday in Pennsylvania Bend for simple assault and harassment. I don't know.
Well, at least it's simple.
That's what I don't know. What does simple assault mean? Like, I punch you in the face. Is that simple?
I don't know what would complicated assault be.
I don't know either, but the further details were not made immediately available due in court on May 26th. Good player for the Browns. Started 61 games his career, 10 last season for Cleveland. But the Browns, of course, released the statement. We are aware. We are gathering information as we speak, but Devin Bush in a little bit of hot water.
Complicated assault would be where you set up like a tripwire that triggers one of those mousetrap contraptions that eventually drops an anvil or a bowling ball on someone's head. That would be complicated assault.
It's true.
All right, let's get to some hockey, some doo-doo this year.
DD mega doo-doo.
This is the time of year in games like this that make me wish we had an NHL team here in San Diego. So last night, the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues were going to Game 7 in Winnipeg. Winnipeg had the better season. They were the favored team in the series, but the Blues had a 3-1 lead late in the third period. Less than 2 minutes to go.
2 goals.
Two goals down.
2 goals down.
So they got one. They got one back with just under 2 minutes to play, setting up a frantic final 155 in the game for a chance to tie it. Didn't look like it was going to happen. Clock's ticking down 10, 7, 6. The guy whiffs on a shot. It looks like it's over, but somehow the puck gets in front of the net where Cole Perfetti puts it in with 3 seconds remaining. 59-57 into the game. The latest game-tying goal in Game 7 history in the Stanley Cup playoffs to force overtime. And the arena in Winnipeg, and every single person in that arena is dressed in white, 90% of them in white Winnipeg Jets jerseys. Just looks amazing. They go absolutely insane.
Got the audio.
To work it free. 8 seconds remaining. Off the stick of Buchnevich. Ehlers found on it. Down to 3. Ehlers, cross ice. Score! Perfetti! With under 2 seconds remaining. Ties it!
They put a second back on the clock, but if you're the St. Louis Blues, what a gut punch. You feel like you've got it done, but you still have a chance.
Yeah, dude. So it's like giving up the home run, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, 2 strikes. Guy hits a 2-run homer to tie it, and you have to regroup. you have to and say, all right, this sucks. But like,
and they did.
We still have a chance.
They went to overtime. Nobody scored in the first overtime.
I watched the entire overtime on HBO Max, which I just learned about yesterday, which was pretty cool. Watched the entire overtime, and then it went to the second overtime. And I go, I can't sit through the delay, the wait. And then so I went to bed, woke up this morning as the first thing I checked. And
Adam Lowry scored 16-10 of the second overtime.
Check on your Blues fan friends, because that is got to be the most excruciating way to lose a Game 7 ever. 2 seconds left, and they tie it up. We were driving back from the tournament. My dad is a massive Dallas Stars fan.
And that's who Winnipeg will face in the next round after Dallas also had a Game 7 victory.
We're driving home. My dad's like, you get a score for me. And I go, it doesn't look good, man. It's 2-0. About 12 minutes left in the third period. And he goes, dang it, it's his birthday. He loves the Stars, but he's a grandfather. He's locked in on his grandson. Wasn't watching the game on his phone or anything. By the time we got home, Dallas Stars won 4-2. They scored 4 goals in the last 12 minutes and ended up winning. He was elated. So happy birthday again to my pops.
The passion for hockey fans in the playoffs is pretty intense. When I was at my golf tournament last week in Henderson, they were like, they play the games on all the TVs with the audio, and people were yelling the score. Yeah, Knights just scored in overtime. They won it. I mean, those guys were really into the Vegas Golden Knights in that area, especially in the postseason. I mean, the passion was off the charts, and I do feel like we miss out a little bit when we don't get that experience.
Dean says, you guys don't understand how much playoff hockey takes off your life. As I watched it last night with no rooting interest, it's the first thing I thought about. Is, man, if this was one of our teams, this is the San Diego whatever playing in the NHL playoffs, how sick would we have been if they had dropped that last night? If that was us, we were the Blues, and we had dropped that to Winnipeg, how sick would we have been watching that? I mean, it was excruciating. So, again, if you have friends that are – our buddy T.O.M.'s a big Blues fan. I'm sorry, Tom. It's got to sting bad.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, you mentioned we will get into Friday's game. Dylan Cease, another choppy performance by Dylan Cease, but the Padres were able to get the win. And speaking of drama, mentioned SDFC. Got to give the Waves some credit as well for what they did yesterday. We'll get to all of that coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Just quickly, guys, if your monthly bills are keeping you up at night, certainly you're not alone. If you're worried about your finances in these crazy times, again, we're all kind of in it together. But if you own a home, and you have racked up sizable amounts on your credit cards, a monthly payment, not making a dent in it, time to call Loan Pronto today. You got a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash out of your home's equity. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out their credit card debt, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. You didn't mean to end up in this position. Happens to the best of us, guys. You don't have to keep stressing about money. Call Loan Pronto today for fast debt relief at 619-207-4336, loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336, or again, loanpronto.com at loanpronto.com. They'll get you dialed in. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now on Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. Last night we talked about the SDFC 5-0 win on Saturday. Last night, the Waves scored early, and then Bay FC tied at 1-1, and it stayed 1-1 Woods until the 95th minute. So 5 minutes into 5 minutes of stoppage time. They put up the 5 minutes extra. Yep. They're at like 94-40. So there's literally like 20 seconds left in the game. Wave get a corner kick, so a chance at least, and just an unbelievable header to win the game for the Wave. It was off the head of Kennedy. Well, Kennedy Wesley scored the first one. Trinity Armstrong heads it. She heads it straight into the ground. It bounces so high that it bounces over the goalie's head, off the crossbar and into the net to win it. And then the referee blows the whistle, and they win their third straight.
Like
so
a walk-off, basically.
Pretty dramatic, a walk-off soccer win, which you rarely see. But congratulations to the Wave on their victory yesterday.
Excellent work.
All right, let's check traffic, and then when we come back, I want to talk about Dylan Cease. You really feel like, man, if Dylan Cease could lock in, this Padres rotation with the bullpen would be the most, if they're not already, would be the most formidable in all of baseball. But he's just not quite there yet. And we'll get to that coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Islands Restaurants. Parts of the county is still getting hit with a stray shower or two, so you definitely want to take that into consideration. Right now, collision on northbound 805 before Imperial. Looks like that's already in the clearing stage. Also have a collision on the coastline, northbound at 5, right before the racetrack. It's got the HOV lane blocked. Spin out on the transition ramp, East 76 to the northbound 15 connector, and an accident in the center divide on southbound 15, just before Miramar Road. Ready for a delicious escape? The new Islands Restaurants $10 protein bowls are your ticket, packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So Friday's game to open the road trip and the series in Pittsburgh starts, with a 72-minute rain delay to open the weekend. They finally get the game going, and then in the second inning, Mitch Keller drills Fernando Tatis Jr. in the arm.
Oh my God, man.
Reading body language, it was bad. I mean, it was bad. First of all, just looking at his arm, it turned immediately, the giant knot that formed on his arm. It turned out that was a broken blood vessel. So his arm was basically filling up with a giant pool of blood under the skin. But Fernando, you think, well, at least he's going to take his first base and, run around. And if he can't play, then he can't go on if it gets worse. But
straight to the clubhouse.
He immediately trudges off into the clubhouse. And
you could see,
and we weren't misreading it, because he admitted later he thought his season was over.
Yeah, you can see the season slipping away at that point when Fernando wears one up, and then you go, all right, like this team can overcome a lot.
I was saying a lot of stuff you cannot repeat.
I was too, and I don't really, I'm almost 50 years old. I was watching the game with my parents, my nephews, everyone, and I let a few expletives fly. And I try not to curse around my parents. My kids are fine, but my parents, right? So I was so mad. And look, man, it's unfortunate because if you are in hitters meetings before the game, your pitching coach, everybody that's sitting there talking to Mitch Keller says, oh, you got to throw Tatis in. You have to. You got to move his feet. It's just the way that you pitch him, right? Like, that's how you get him. If you get him out over the plate, he's going to murder you, Ben. You got to throw him in. With that comes the unfortunate scene of him getting dotted a lot and gets a lot of pitches up and in. That's just how you pitch him. You have to. And it's unfortunate. I don't think it was intentional, certainly. That being said, I still would like to see the Padres stick up for him at some point. I know I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not
It's hard
alone.
to tell because they did hit 3 batters that game, but I didn't think any of them was a reprisal.
Nor did I.
Yeah.
You know when it's a reprisal. You know exactly when it happens. And, you know, Nando spends a lot of time on his rear end, dusting off his rear end. But again, I think it's a confluence of events, man. I think that's the way that you have to pitch that guy to get him out, you know. But I it's unfortunate. He wears a lot of pitches. And I thought our season was over. I really did. When he left the game, I said, that's it for us.
Yeah. Well, you say that, but, you know, they made the playoffs in 2022 without him.
Yeah, he's having an MVP.
I know, but they
season.
played, you know, last year they played without him for months and still made the playoffs as well. So I don't think you can ever say your team's season is over.
It's just how I felt.
No matter what.
That's how I felt in the moment.
I know.
You know, of just like, oh, here we go. Because I thought, honestly, Benny, I thought it was a broken wrist at first. I'm like, you're not coming back from that. And then you see it hit a little bit higher up on the arm, got a little meat, you know, which was good. And the fact that he was in the lineup the next day and basically won the game for us, just you can't say enough good
Kept
things about
hearing
him.
like the whole time while he was getting checked out on the field there and walking off into the dugout, you kept hearing, I think the swelling, the immediate swelling is actually a good thing. And I was like,
yeah.
look,
that's what Tony said.
I have no idea because I don't know anything about the medical side of that kind of stuff. I'll take them at their word for it. And then to see him back the next day, I was like, okay, guess they're right. Guess that means it just hit the meat, just swelled up. That's a good sign. I'm like, because I see the picture and I saw it in the moment and I go, you can't tell me that that's a good sign.
Oh man,
Like,
you're so lucky.
And major props to Mark Rogo, Ricky Huerta, the Padres training staff, who I was sure that Tatis would at least be out a day or two.
Oh, yeah.
And to get him back into the lineup on Saturday.
That whole training staff has put in some work.
Yeah.
And the first 6 weeks
and I
of
don't
the
even know
year.
exactly what they did. I heard Jesse talking a little bit about, like the electronic stimulus and all the different things they do to try to get that going. They probably had to drain the hematoma, which just sounds gross. I mean, blood everywhere probably to get it out. And the fact that he was wearing that sleeve with the lightning bolt then over the weekend, just to get him back on the field.
At what point
he's a tough kid.
At what point do these guys start wearing literal armor?
Some do.
Plate? Some do. If I would not be mad at Nando doing his entire left arm in they have those
like an athletic cast,
like
almost.
a cast almost, man. It just because again he leans out, they got to pitch him in. Something's got to give at some point, and pitchers getting torched by Fernando Tatis Jr. knowing I can get him out or at least get him domed out by going up and in.
I mean, you got the elbow pad. I would seriously talk to him about something that covers up the entire arm, the rest of the arm, and it's like make it that any skin that's visible isn't the size of a baseball.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? Like you cannot. You'll be okay because you're right. That's the only way to pitch him effectively.
Padres bounce back, though, even without Tatis. Gavin Sheets hit a game-tying home run in the 4th inning off Mitch Keller, his 4th of the year, and his RBI single capped a 3-run 5th inning as the Padres took the lead for good. Now, it was a close game for a while, and then the Padres put it away late. Luis Arraez, 3 for 5, 3 runs batted in. Tyler Wade, 2 for 4,
my man,
a run and an RBI. I'd assume that Tyler Wade gets to stay on the roster even after Jackson Merrill returns, expected today.
My guess is it's probably Oscar Gonzalez that goes down.
I would think so at this point.
Yeah, Wade's probably here for the long haul.
I would imagine. I really would imagine. Can play infield and outfield and play them, admirably, comparably, serviceably, whatever word you want to use. But as it pertains to Dylan Cease, it's frustrating. He's a frustrating watch right now. The thing is with Dylan, the velo's there, the swing and miss is there. He walks too many guys. He's walking too many guys right now. Period. The end. I think for him, it's a command thing. And if he can command it, he can be dominant.
So
again.
his slider was better. He said afterwards, I found the shape, found the feel with his slider, and it was breaking. And yes, you're right, Woods. Command is part of it. 3 more walks. But what he's missing, I think even more than the command, is guys are just fouling off more pitches. And he's getting into these, his normal counts. He's up 1-2, he's 2-2.
They said that on the
but
broadcast.
He's not putting guys away.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to walk a guy. If he keeps fouling pitches off, you're not going to hit the zone every single time. And it feels like he gets there and he just can't quite put guys away. And then it's leading to walks. It's not so much that he's going ball 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's wild thing and can't find the plate.
They said they fouled off like 19 pitches on him in the first couple of innings.
He's finding the plate. He's just not getting them to miss. And I think Mudd talked about this during the broadcast. So the slider looked good, but the fastball remains. It's a not competitive enough pitch. Yeah. So when he's trying to get you to swing at that high fastball, it's a little too high, and they're easily laying off the fastball, which means they can watch for that slider. Like they're watching, okay, if this is a spin, I'm not going to swing at it. And so they can lay off the low outside slider that they're usually chasing at because they think it's a fastball. They're not worried about the fastball as much anymore because his command is a little bit off. Again, he's not like lost and he's not completely gone. Yeah. You do feel like any one of these starts, Dylan Cease could return to being Dylan Cease. But it just keeps not happening. And it's just 4 innings. I mean, only 3 hits. It's not like they're hitting them all over the ballpark. 2 runs, but 91 pitches in 4 innings.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And, going and having your next start in Yankee Stadium against a pretty good lineup and a tough ballpark to pitch in. Look, it doesn't bode well as a place to go out and figure it out, but we have no other choice, man. You're going to keep running Dylan Cease out there and hoping that he can figure it out and feels comfortable doing so. He just doesn't look super comfortable this season right now, and I think the numbers are bearing that out right now. ERA of almost 6 right now. So yeah, it's not pleasant.
What would you say is your worry level over Dylan Cease? I'm still not hugely worried.
No, it's not really a worry. It's just more of like, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating.
The thing that you count on Dylan Cease for, which is going deep into games, being the guy who really saves your bullpen.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been that at all.
Yeah.
He's pitching more like your 5th starter who just, give us 4 or 5 innings, 2 runs, keep us in the game. We've got Randy Vasquez for that.
Yeah, he's the other one. It's like, oh man, Randy Vasquez.
It's weird.
He goes out
when Randy Vasquez does it, I'm fine with it. 5 innings, 2 runs, fine. No
5
worries.
walks, 6 walks.
But Dylan, I either want 6 dominant or 8 innings, 3 runs.
Right.
I need more from Dylan Cease.
You need more length and girth.
I do
from Dylan Cease. Who doesn't? Right? Who wouldn't like a little more length and girth out of their starters? But with Randy. It's funny because you watch a Randy Vasquez start, you're like, oh my God, he's pitching terribly. Padres up 2-1. I mean, it's just insane. He's like
that guy labors.
He labors, bro. He labors, and we as the viewer labor through his starts. But you're like, geez, we're only down 1 or we're up 1. Like it's.
And again, how many times can you get ahead of a guy 0-2 and walk him?
Dude, it's like crazy.
You look like you're so sharp the first 2 pitches, and then what happened? What happened, Randy?
Manny Nuggets is with a good question here. Who's more frustrating to watch, Snell or Cease? Dylan is rapidly approaching the Blake Snell levels of, oh my God, look at this electric stuff.
But you can make the argument for Cease because you don't expect it. Like you expected it out of Snell.
Every start, bro. Every start.
April, May, and June at least.
Gnawing your nails.
You knew this is going to be a tough watch.
Yeah.
Could have 12 strikeouts and go 7 1/3. He could make it 2 innings and give up, 8 runs, and 7 walks.
Casey said, watching Randy is like, you need a carton of cigarettes. You're absolutely right. I mean, just fire and heater one after the other, dude. It is rough. But I remember, many, many Snell starts where you're just rocking back and forth, like, please God, let it end. And he's bouncing the ball 56 feet and they're swinging over the top of it. You're like, how does he keep doing this? How does he get away with this? It's just mad.
But again, Randy Vasquez hasn't been bad, and the Padres need Randy Vasquez.
Got to have him.
I wonder what happens when Yu Darvish hopefully returns.
Yeah.
Could be less than a month now from Yu Darvish returning to the rotation. I threw out this weekend, I was talking about it with someone, and I said, what about, the bullpen is doing so well. I mean, even on Friday, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. That's like a bad game for the Padres bullpen. That was Peralta, Jacob, Matsui, Estrada, Morejon, and Bergert in a 9-4 win. And that was like one of their worst outings of the year. I mean, and that's still, most teams would take that in a heartbeat.
For every
most
other
teams
team
would take that in a heartbeat. 5 innings, 2 runs from our bullpen with our low leverage guys in there. That's amazing. And for the Padres, like, ho-hum, whatever. We won 9-4. But when Yu Darvish returns, would you consider maybe a Steven Kolick, Randy Vasquez piggyback? I know they're both right-handed, but, hey, one guy for 5, one guy for 4, and they save the bullpen a day that day where you just know that those guys are supposed to really take it all the way home for you.
David J. nails it. Exactly a year ago today, Snell had a 5.28 ERA and a 5.53 FIP. He won the Cy Young. So it's right 2 years ago.
Dylan Cease winning the Cy Young this year.
I mean,
all right.
Again, it's frustrating.
Dylan Thief.
It's
Last year, Michael King had a really rough April
Yeah.
and ended up having a phenomenal season.
It's frustrating, as Blake Snell himself would say. It's a frustrating watch with Dylan and Randy. But again, you found a way to win both of those ball games.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he was here.
But
again,
you could probably look at Michael King's numbers from last year and find something fairly similar in terms of ERA and FIP. And he finished, 7th in Cy Young voting and turned into basically the best pitcher in baseball starter in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not over by any stretch of the imagination for Dylan Cease.
they're grinding right now. Vasquez and Cease are really grinding it out. I mean, they really are grinding out their starts. And, for Dylan with such electric stuff, how do you harness it? How do you figure it out against the Yankees? That's going to be the test. And we talked to Eno about Dylan Cease a couple times. He's not worried about it. Again, knows kind of the way that these things go, and I trust him. But yeah, man, it'd be nice to see as a fan, a nice dominant outing from Dylan Cease. I know he needs it, and I know he wants it.
Padres are the only team in baseball that have yet to give up 100 runs this season.
Crazy.
They've given up 95. The rest of the NL West, I mean, the Dodgers did have their 7-game winning streak snapped last night on Sunday Night Baseball by the Atlanta Braves, who just held on by the skin of their teeth.
I mean, it's 4-0, and then you look up, you're like, oh God, it's 4-3. They're threatening again.
Yeah. So the Dodgers are 23-11. That leads the NL West, best record in all of baseball. The Padres are 22-11, a half game back, second best record in all of baseball. The San Francisco Giants are 22-13, tied for the third best record in all of baseball and a game and a half back in the NL West. So you got those 3 teams. The Diamondbacks, 18-16, continue to kind of tread water. They're 5 games off the pace in the NL West. They won 11-9 yesterday to avoid a 3-game sweep in their series against the who did they play yesterday?
Was it?
The Diamondbacks played the Phillies. Yeah, won in 10 innings yesterday. So the NL West is gonna be tough. And I was listening to MLB Network Radio this morning, like, yeah, they think the Braves are still going to bounce back and be a playoff team. Okay. Whose spot are they taking? Because you got the Mets, 22-13, the Cubs, 21-14, Dodgers, Padres, and Giants, all with over 22 wins. And then you got the Diamondbacks, you got the Braves, you got the Reds. I mean, those 3 teams would be out right now. And they all could challenge at some point. But who are they going to pass and take over in an NL that is clearly much deeper, much tougher than the American League this year?
Well, I mean, it's just great for the Padres after a little mini skid, 4-game skid last week to bounce back the way they have. And of course, as you're doing it, you see the Dodgers continuing to win, 7 of their last 8, Benny. And it's just the keeping pace is pretty excruciating right now for this team and all the, every team right now. Because believe me, the Dodgers, as confident as they are, you look down and go, God, these guys aren't going away. These dudes are not going away. Everyone's fighting and clawing right now. So look, out of our mouths, you'll hear us say, man, this sure is fun. Man, it's fun having a race like this all year. It's not fun. It's absolutely excruciating, but this is our lot. So
Padres are on a 108 win pace right now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, none of us were thinking 108 wins at the beginning of the year. Doesn't feel like it's completely unsustainable, though.
There's just so much time to go. There's just so much time to go. And the scary part for me is, the Dodgers having 13 pitchers on the IL and still, I mean, again, they have not played the best of competition recently, but they're handling business, man. That's scary. 13 13 guys on the IL, pitchers on the IL, and they're like, no problem. It's pretty nuts.
All right, we'll come back. We've got Dennis Lynn joining us. Also a game of Take on Woods, and we still have those Padres tickets to give away.
And you're doing something that has made me insane. And this has been going on 3 weeks.
Me?
Yes.
Really?
And Paulie, it's driving us crazy.
I don't know how you do this.
I don't either. He's a madman.
How do you live?
How are you living?
Okay.
right, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. So good to be back with you guys. I missed you on Friday. You don't believe me when I tell you, I don't like missing shows. I really, really don't. I like to be here with the guys. I don't like leaving my guys in a lurch without me. I'm sure they did a great job. But, yeah, man, it was a big day. You know, D. Smith coming on and the skipper, Mike Schilt. I'm not going to get to talk to Schilty for like a month, which I'm sure he's elated about. But, yeah, I did fly home to see my dad, surprise him for his 70th, and it was a really special weekend. So thank you guys for allowing me to do that. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer, and Ben Higgins, this guy, friendly neighborhood sports anchor. I've been watching you for the last couple weeks, and I keep noticing every time you grab your phone to text that you have no case on your phone. And it first of all, it's a pink phone, which is a bold color for you, I think.
Thanks.
I like it.
Did you do that too? Did you do that on purpose or?
So when I went to get my new phone,
when did you get that new phone? What model do you have?
I don't know. Does it say what model? It's fairly recent. No, it's a fairly recent model.
Who has a newer phone?
It's about a year and a half,
So
maybe.
Go to settings.
Go to settings. Go to
I got settings. I got
general.
About. Okay. Who has the newest
model
phone?
name?
Model name. iPhone 13.
Okay, I've got the 14.
I've got the 14 Pro.
14
Wow.
Pro.
All right,
Paulie
13.
does a lot more on the phone than we do.
Yeah, I got the 13. When I went to get it,
The 13 came out in 2021.
I asked for what were the colors? They had black, and they said, "Well, yeah, you can get that for you in about 4 weeks."
Okay,
but we have pink now.
Take
I said,
it.
Fine, I'll take it. Pink.
I'll take it.
And I put my OtterBox black case on it at the time.
September 24th, 2021 is when that came out.
Okay, it's good.
So it's not your new
right
phone.
away, though. I didn't get that right away. That was about a year later that I got that. So probably late 2022, early 2023.
All right. So you went into the store and they said, we have the new model out. And you said, no, I want the old one.
I don't think the new model had been out yet. This was the newest model when I got it.
Okay.
At the time, it wasn't brand new, but it wasn't. Nothing new had come out since then. So yeah, I always had a case, and I put my black OtterBox on, and I had it on for a while. But then recently, it had stopped charging when I would put the plug in, the lightning plug, and the buttons weren't really working on the side.
Really?
So I took it into my engineers at Channel 10. They were very helpful. They have that canister of air.
Yeah, they
and then
cleaned
some
it out.
tweezers, and they kind of cleaned it all out. And,
Idea next time.
Yeah.
Take it to the store.
Will they do it for you there too?
Well, I would rather troubleshoot my phone at the phone store than some engineers at my office.
They were very competent, and all of a sudden now it's charging perfectly.
But you took the case off.
And I took the case off, and then I just realized now it's all clean and everything. That gets so much lint and stuff in it, and you can't once you take the case off, it didn't even go back on. It was broken. And I had to break it to get the case off.
Interesting.
So I thought I could go buy a new case, but I've actually kind of enjoyed not having the case on for a change.
It makes me so nervous to watch you walk around without a case on your phone.
I mean, I have the protective screen on top, but yeah, I felt like it's smaller. It's a little more nimble than it used to be. The buttons work perfectly now. I can actually get to all of them. There's no gunk.
I can't imagine picking my phone up without a case.
I can't.
I'll take it out of the case every once in a while, clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine just walking around like that. Even in those, let's say I'm sitting on the couch and cleaning off the phone, wiping it off a little bit. I'll take it out of the case. Even in sitting down, those 2 minutes where it's out, I'm scared. I'm nervous. Don't knock it over accidentally.
I don't know. Why would Apple design something that wouldn't work without someone else's product around it? I feel like it was designed to work this way. This is how Apple designed it. This is how they intended it to be used.
Well, think about this. It's fragile, right? They want you to drop it. Why? Because then you have to go get a new phone. You get a case, it's going to extend the life of your phone. Everyone in the chat is agreeing with Paulie and I that you raw dogging your phone is like the craziest thing of all time. It's the first thing you do when you get a new phone is I got to get a case, because you don't drop your phone ever.
I'm good at, when I do drop it, kick saving with my foot. The old kick save with the foot. I've done that a few times.
Hey, ho!
That's a dad move right there.
That is
kick save with the foot.
Everyone in the chat thinks you are a serial killer, perhaps, for not.
We talked earlier this year about raw dogging.
Yeah, you raw dogging your phone.
Is that what I'm doing with my phone?
It's the
Raw
definition
dogging.
of it.
Yeah, it's fine. And if I need to watch a show, it's just very light, and I just
Okay.
I have this is how I hold it.
How heavy are your cases that you're buying?
He buys the 14-pound OtterBox.
Well, I had kids, so we just got used to getting the biggest, most bulky case possible for them, and then I started using it. It's like, this thing's huge; it barely fits in my pocket.
You should see the cases that they have at Bo's school for the iPads. It's about 6 inches on the top, 6 inches around the side, 6 inches on the bottom, all bulky and clunky. It looks like you're holding like a huge piece of art when you're playing on the iPad at school because, they're kids.
There's nothing like the feeling of a good kick save when you drop your phone and you gently land it on your foot and like
nothing.
You just keep it from breaking. It is awesome.
Now just be careful, because I do think that while obviously lint and dirt and stuff can get in through the case into the charging port or whatever, without any case, like, you have a lot of crap in your pockets that you don't even know about.
That's true.
So you might have to clean it a little extra.
Maybe loose cannabis floating around in your pocket.
Ganja, aka cannabis.
Yeah.
It did feel like little leaves or something had gotten in there. I don't know how.
Well, you were in that roll your own cigarette.
Everybody must get stoned.
The engineers are like, man, there's so much loose tobacco in here. So I showed you mine, and I have the pop lock on it, which I kind of always
pop socket.
The pop socket, which I'd never really liked until now. My hands cramp up when I don't have the pop socket on there, and I showed it to you. So you're holding your phone as you're watching. I can just place mine there, and it sits nicely like a little TV.
But I'm usually kind of laying down if I'm watching my phone. I'm laying down in bed.
I don't need to know any. Nobody needed to think about any of this.
I was watching Andor from Star Wars yesterday. It was May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I had to watch something Star Wars related on May the 4th, right? No? You didn't watch any Star Wars yesterday for May the 4th?
No,
no,
I didn't. The lady at the airline counter, though, was doing bits all day. Gate B as in Boba Fett. Gate C as in Chewbacca. Gate D as in Darth Vader. So yeah, it was kind of a fun bit. Will you please get a case? You're into, like, you've gone long enough. You're not going to spend the $75. We know that. When's your birthday? November. It's a long time. If you make it to November, I'll buy you a nice case.
I don't know. I just feel like I've turned the corner. Maybe I don't need cases anymore.
It does. It's easier in your pocket. I'll tell you that. It is. It's lighter.
With the pop thing, that feels like it wouldn't even fit in my pocket.
Well, it's pops.
I know
down.
it goes down a little bit, but
I can't live without it now at this point. But I'm so nervous.
I still feel like if I dropped my phone the right way onto the right surface,
it
would still break. But I feel there's a comfort knowing that it's locked up in a case.
Yeah, there is a comfort to it. And boy, I mean, I just feel like it's very brazen of you. I feel like you're going to get an earring next, start wearing your shirt loose. Like, I don't need a case.
I will say
this is how I roll.
Given that I've had the phone for a couple of years, I also feel like
if
I'm probably due for an upgrade.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it'll just be
good.
my excuse to move forward with the next phone.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm not the guy that has to have the most updated.
I'm not
either. I don't care, but I'm probably due for one. My charging port is the old one, which in my home, I'm the only one with the old charging port. Everyone else has the new.
They went from Lightning to USB-C recently.
Yeah, it sucks.
And now everything is USB-C.
Correct.
Everything in my house is Lightning.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And got to buy a bunch of cables and kind of swap them all out.
Yeah.
I made the move a couple of months ago to an iPad. I barely touch my phone now when I'm at home. The iPad becomes the phone, and it is
Still haven't done it. I have one, but
it's the phone times 10 as far as size. Like, it's like you play on the iPad, you can text, scroll, whatever you got to do. I can get work done. And then if I pick up my phone after using the iPad for 10, 20 minutes, the phone, it feels tiny in your hand.
Yeah, I used the iPad on the plane yesterday, watched a couple of movies.
I feel like that the engineers are smart enough that they could actually have multiple different ways to charge your phone and have Lightning or USB-C or whatever.
But
And
they
it
don't want to.
But they don't do it that way because they want to make you. They want to make you buy
I had to buy a
more.
couple of cords. They have like 5 different ends. So it has Lightning. It's got USB-C.
We have that too. You have to clip one on top of the other.
USB-C micro, I think, is the other one.
Or it's like an octopus. There's the port, and then there's 15 cables coming out.
It's got like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it makes me very nervous, and I hope you don't now drop your phone.
Well, everyone's saying you've jinxed it now.
Yeah.
I've been going good for the last couple of months without the case.
Well, has it been a couple of months?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it only been a couple of weeks.
No, it's been like 2 months now, I think.
That is it's so brazen of you, I think. I'm actually a little bit in admiration.
Well, you know me. I like to live on the edge.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time. Very dangerous.
Thrill seeker.
very, very dangerous. I just keep looking at you going, I can't believe he's doing this. Does it feel like a razor blade in your hands?
Saturated fats in our chat. My work phone is an iPhone 7.
Oh. Yeah, for real. I looked at Ben. He was playing with his phone. I'm like, what did he do? Yeah, just be careful, dude. Be careful.
All right. We need a contestant for Take on Woods if you want to join us. We have a brand new prize this month. I don't know who won the grand prize from last month yet. You'll probably contact it this week if you did. But we have a trip to Las Vegas to see Bruno Mars at the Park MGM and a 2-night stay at the Park MGM, a $100 gift card. No qualifiers. You can be the first. If you want to call in now to Take on Woods in our musical trivia challenge, it is coming up next. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll play in just a couple of minutes here with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I want to tell you about Trust and Will. You were with your family this weekend.
Yeah.
So important when you think about family. The last thing you want, obviously, you hope you don't ever leave them, but if you do, you don't want to leave them stressed and not knowing what to do because you left no instructions and facing a really complicated, drawn-out probate process as they try to figure out what to do with your estate.
Yeah, no question, man. And if you have a family, I'm actually mad at myself. It took me so long to do after I had two kids, and now it's all dialed in. It's all sealed up. Went to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out FAN. Lots of tier ones are going to the website and doing it right now. We really appreciate that. I know they do as well. But again, trustandwill.com. Use FAN when you check out. You get 20% off plus free shipping of your estate documents. You get those documents, you throw them in the desk, you let your significant other know where they are, and if something does happen, everyone's taken care of.
And it's so much more affordable than going to a lawyer's office.
Big time.
I mean, even without the code, but with the code, it's even better. You don't want billable hours. This is a simple process, very easy. So again, use the code FAN at checkout. Get your 20% off. Get your free shipping at trustandwill.com. That's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Well, you don't like Bruno Mars out there? It's a pretty good show. 833-288-097. Hey, you don't have to go to the show. Just go to Vegas. Park MGM's a nice hotel.
Yeah.
$100 gift card. But you got to take on Woods. 833-288-097.
Don't be scared.
3. Yes, don't be scared.
No.
There's nothing scary about
No,
Woods.
we're welcoming.
Got Dennis Lynn from The Athletic going to join us here at the bottom of the hour while we wait for someone to call in. So I was at dinner with my sons last night. And
Where'd you go?
Went to Islands.
Oh,
I know.
My wife's a huge Islands fan.
Yeah, they love the fries there.
Yeah.
So, all right. My son was getting off work in Carlsbad.
I'm an
and I
island
thought,
boy,
Ben's an
and I've
island.
been trying
go
to
meet you at
make-
Islands after
Oh,
you get
I'm
off
an
work,
island
and
boy.
we'll have dinner. And coming up with conversation at dinner. And I don't know if you just my son wanted to test how old I'm getting, because I'll be 50 later this year.
Yeah.
And he said, if I showed you 3 pictures, could you tell me the difference between Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, and Chappell Roan?
I would know Chappell Roan.
All right, who's this? Who's
All right,
this,
you do it.
Woods? I got one for you.
All right, here we go.
All right, who's that?
That is Sabrina Carpenter.
All right, I think you probably passed. I failed the test. I guessed Chappell Roan on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, she's kind of pale skinned like that, but that was wrong.
She's kind of pale.
Well, she puts that like white powdery makeup on, I guess, and I thought that was her. No, that was Sabrina Carpenter.
Why was this a conversation?
I don't know. I just think he was pointing
Just wanting
out
to tell,
how
hey, old man.
old and out of touch I've gotten. The 3 of the most popular women in the world for his age set.
Yeah,
are
they all
people that I can't even identify in a photograph.
It's a fun
now.
game to play. I do like this game, and there could be a bit in here somewhere because I oftentimes I'll see something like, oh, this movie star, and I'm like, who? All right, Zendaya is a female, yes?
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
Zendaya
She's
was in a
Marvel
boy
movies,
band.
so I can get her. I would see. I know Selena Gomez. I know Zendaya.
Selena Gomez is married to Benny Blanco.
I don't know if they're married or not, but yeah.
Okay, that's they're together.
But she was on the show with Martin Short and Steve Martin, Only Murders in the Building.
That's
so
right.
I know her from,
Okay.
because she crosses over with old people sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough, like yourself.
But I couldn't
I
fail.
like this bit of your kids just busting your balls. It's Zendaya? Oh, Zendaya. Somebody said what did I say? I said Zendaya.
I thought it was Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Is
It's Zendaya.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I thought it was Zendaya.
Yeah, I don't I believe me, I'm a little bit more up on it than you
Yeah.
are, but I'm still not great at the new pop culture scene.
Diesel says pale skin is so bad.
Oh, then you should see my legs. I will be one of the hottest stars in Hollywood.
Remember, tanned used to be the thing.
By the way, my wife yesterday, we were in the security line, and there was a guy in a Tennessee Volunteers jersey. I'll never forget it, who had unquestionably the skinniest, palest legs that I have ever seen on a human adult man. Hannah was sitting off the side. She goes, "Babe," I go, "What?" And she just pointed, and she's like, "See, it's not so bad." And I go, "You're right. My legs look like yours compared to him." I was like, "Bro, you would never catch me out looking like that with those things exposed."
All right, we got a contestant on the line. Yes, we do. Let's get to it. Time for the first game of Take on Woods this week. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Eric on line 3 today as our contestant. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for calling in. Let's see if we can get an early qualifier this month for our brand new grand prize. Again, it is tickets to see Bruno Mars in concert in Las Vegas. His show at Dolby Live at Park MGM on September 3rd, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and a $100 gift card. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. All right, we'll give you the 3 category choices now that Woods is gone. We still have duets, old and new-ish. Those are 2-second song duets. Triple play, song titles that include the same word repeated 3 times. And our new category, getting in shape, 5 song titles that all include some sort of geometric shape in the title. So duets, old and new-ish, triple play, or getting in shape. Eric, what would you like to play?
Let's do triple play.
Triple play. Okay, today's game features song titles that all include the same word repeated 3 times. You'll have 60 seconds. Answer as many as you can. Pass if you don't know one. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is our only 2-second song. You need to give me the title with the same word repeated 3 times and the artist to score that point. Eric, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. 60 seconds on the clock. The category again, triple play. Eric, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods. Was that pass? A teenage girl has...
Girls, Motley Crue?
Yes, Girls, Motley Crue. A teenage girl has her T-Bird taken away in which classic by the Beach Boys?
Pass.
Phil Collins and Genesis are going to make it right in which 1986 top 5 hit that starts with the line, I'm coming down like a monkey?
Pass.
The Byrds borrowed lyrics directly from the Bible's Book of Ecclesiastes for which 1965 song that became a major international hit?
I don't know.
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson followed up This Girl Is Mine with which second duet that hit #1 on the charts in 1983?
Hey.
No, say. Teenage girl has her T-Bird taken away. All right, we just got the one. The Girls by Motley Crue. That's not... Don't think that's going to be enough. We had Fun by the Beach Boys. Tonight by Genesis. Turn by the Byrds, and Say. Let's bring Woods back
if you're
in.
70 years old, you probably did really good on that.
Yeah, all
category.
right. Fine, whatever, Paulie. I bet Woods does decently on this category. Let's put 60 seconds back
You're not
on the clock.
disproving my point.
Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Eric.
Oh, girls, Motley Crue.
Correct. A teenage girl has her T-Bird taken away, in which classic by the Beach Boys?
Fun.
Correct. Phil Collins and Genesis are going to make it right, in which 1986 top 5 hit that starts with the line, I'm coming down like a monkey.
Save that. Susudio?
No.
Oh.
The Byrds borrowed lyrics directly from the Bible's Book of Ecclesiastes, for which 1965 song
Turn.
Correct. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson followed up This Girl Is Mine, with which second duet that hit number 1 on the charts in 1983.
First of all, who is Paul McCartney? Number 1. Second of all, it's Say.
All right, so you got 4. And now do you know which one?
What's the
Genesis? Well, the category. You got girls,
Yeah.
girls,
So,
fun.
but I thought Susudio, but the name of the song is Susudio. What is
Tonight.
Oh,
Tonight.
Okay.
4-1 win, though, for Woods today. Paul McCartney is related to Paul McCartney.
He is a brother of the former Beatle, Paul McCartney.
You managed to get that one, though.
I don't know why.
The category is called triple play.
I like that you said, I'm coming down like a monkey. I don't.
That's what it said, the lyrics. So I was always wondering what he was saying in that line.
Jumped out at me.
Yeah.
I don't know why we never need it. But
if we do,
I don't even know what that means.
If we prank called a zoo, perhaps, I have no idea.
I'm coming down like a monkey. Okay.
Greatness.
And I want to see those panda bears.
Yes, no doubt.
All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, Eric, thank you for playing. Sorry that you didn't qualify today. Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Padres 3-0 on their current road trip, riding a 5-game winning streak as they head in to the Bronx to face the Yankees. We'll chat with Dennis Lynn on Padres baseball. Our Linsider coming up next here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
But first, my friends, let me tell you about the great work they're doing over at QC Kinetics. Got appointments for you in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest. I've been to the Torrey Hills location many times. Can't say enough about what the great people over there are doing, how they fixed me up entirely. My very painful wrists, was wearing all sorts of bands and carpal tunnel braces. Had no idea what it was actually pretty nervous that I was going to need wrist surgery. I didn't. Went to QC Kinetics. They got me fixed up with their regenerative cell therapy, restored the tissue in my very, very painful and achy joints. So if you're listening this morning and, painful joints are keeping you out of the water or off your bike or off the golf course or just living your life, man, you got to do yourself a favor and call QC Kinetics today, 619-614-PAIN. They will give you a free consultation when you call. It could be your knees, could be your back, could be your wrists like it was for me. And they've made all the difference in my life. And I will be an advocate of QC Kinetics forever because I just don't know where I'd be without them. I did not want to live with that wrist pain for the rest of my life. And now I don't have to. So again, powerful and potent way, excuse me, to give your joints new life, repairing old tissue. There we go. Call 619-614-PAIN. Once again,
Kendry
619.
Morales with a home run.
Once again, 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. You've got a problem.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Padres taking care of business over the weekend in Pittsburgh.
TCB, baby.
Which includes Mike Shildt, and we talked about this on Friday when you weren't here, improving his record,
man.
which is already the best in the history of baseball for any manager at any ballpark. I believe he's now 28-5 at Pittsburgh's PNC Park between his time with the Cardinals and now 6-0 with the Padres, who have won 9 straight over the Pirates.
If I'm with the Pirates, I'm on the phone with AJ Preller today trying to steal Mike Shildt away for prospects in cash.
I also talked to Mike Shildt about his overall record at Yankee Stadium.
Not good.
0-0.
Oh,
it's
never
the
managed there.
It's the only ballpark he has never managed a game, and he did seem like he was looking forward to it. You know, he appreciates the history of the game, and he'll manage his first game, weather permitting, today at Yankee Stadium at 4:05, and we will talk about the Padres, their weekend, and the upcoming series with our Linsider. Dennis Lin from The Athletic will join us right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Traffic is brought to you by Islands Restaurants. Problems on the coastline. Northbound 5 before Carmel Valley Road, a crash blocking the HOV lane. Then up ahead, Delmar Heights Road off-ramp, another crash. And a crash has cleared North 5 just before the racetrack. We also have this collision on southbound 5 before Tamarack. That's over to the right shoulder. Now getting reports of a hit-and-run accident westbound 78, just past Twin Oaks Valley Road, not showing if any lanes are blocked. Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurants protein bowls are here for a limited time, packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love, just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
No, very curious, Ben.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben and Woods Linsider, Dennis Lin from The Athletic. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks, it gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Very curious.
I actually didn't know Islands was a sponsor before I went to Islands last night.
I'm sure you didn't.
Sure.
I did see that they had those new protein bowls on the menu. And I did get free chips and salsa and guac because I signed up for their rewards. Islands Locals rewards on the app.
All right, you know what?
But
Dennis
I got nothing from here.
Dennis is totally impartial here.
Yeah.
Now, Dennis, Ben was just telling us how he went to Islands yesterday.
Yeah, with his kids.
And had a great dinner.
Great, delicious
and he loved
meal.
it. And now we're hearing Islands reads during our show. We think he might have gotten a little freebie.
No kickbacks. Nothing at all.
Huh.
I mean, you can't rule it out, right?
No, not with him.
I can understand the suspicion. I do see the suspicion, but I feel good about supporting a sponsor to Odyssey and the Ben and Woods program.
That's good.
You all like Islands too.
We do. It's a good diplomatic answer. D. Lynn, are you're currently in the Big Apple right now? Yes.
I am. Yeah, I'm looking outside the window, and it's not raining yet, which is, I guess, could be worse. But I think last I checked, there's like a 65% chance it's raining at first pitch. So Yeah, tonight feels like a little bit of a toss-up. And by the way, I feel like I've never had a bad meal at Islands, and also I haven't been there in like 7 years. So
Still good.
That's kind of a toss-up for me as well.
More Plugola on Ben and Woods this morning from live from New York City. But we know what the players go through with this stuff. Nobody ever thinks about the sports writer, right? The guy that's got to probably go to the ballpark early, get there, and then sit in the press box and wait for a game to happen that may or may not happen. What's the longest day you can remember, and how long you were at the ballpark?
Not so much the ballpark, but last year I had a flight canceled out of Midway Airport in Chicago, and I ended up sleeping there. So that was nice. But my flight the next morning got out like at 5 a.m. So I didn't sleep much, and also it's a good thing I didn't have to sleep much in that airport because I don't know if you guys have ever been, but like none of those seats have any kind of armrest that kind of
lift up.
are
That
out
would
of
be
the way.
smart.
So yeah, exactly. So I guess they're trying to crack down on hobos like me sleeping in the airport. But yeah, that was the only flight I've ever had just banged like that in 12, 13 years of doing this. So yeah, that would be my memory.
Dennis, one thing that the 2023 Padres didn't do, that the 2024 Padres did, and now the 2025 Padres have started the season doing, taking care of business against lesser opponents. What do you think is the reason for that? I mean, you can always point to Mike Schilt taking over as manager, but it's got to be more than just a different guy making the decisions. Why have the Padres had more success against the lower teams in the league in the last season plus now than they did in 2023 and before?
Number one thing that comes to mind is they're putting the ball in play more in general, which has helped in extra inning games and tight games like they played the other day, Saturday in Pittsburgh, or also, having Fernando Tatis Jr. also helps. They didn't have him in 2023. Obviously, we saw what he did on the base paths the other night. Some of that, number two, I would think, is just kind of the vagaries of baseball being random and kind of stupid at times. I think you play that 2023 season over 100 different times, you're not going to get another outcome like they had in 23, where they lost all those extra inning games and one-run games. And but I think that overarching philosophy and just the way the lineup is built and the roster constructed of putting the ball in play, I think that's really helped a lot. And against bad teams who don't score many runs, if you put the ball in play and they don't have a great defense either, the opponent that gives you a better chance of winning on the road. Winning, not only winning on the road, but winning against bad teams in general. So I think that's what you're seeing so far through a year plus of Mike Schultz's tenure.
And Dennis, we're talking to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, as we do every Monday at this time. What has been your assessment of it's always the question that fans lose their minds about is, oh man, he doesn't know how to manage a bullpen. And when you look at what the bullpen has done this year, you look at it, and I saw some consternation yesterday about using Jason Adam up 4-0. I really don't have a problem with it. You want to get that sweep, you want to get it out the door, and you want to go with guys that you trust. In your opinion, how do you think Schulte has managed the bullpen this year? And do you look at it as a kind of a long-term thing where you go, all right, we keep going to the same well over and over and over, or is it just one of those things where the recipe's currently working, you ride it till the wheels fall off?
I'd say get back to me in September or October when we have a better idea of how just all the accumulating effects on the bullpen, how it all adds up in the end. But so far, I mean, they have the best bullpen ERA in the majors. So I think that clearly speaks for itself. A lot of that's obviously on the players, but yeah, he's not the kind to take chances in even 4-run games. And they've had quite a few off days early this season. So I think he's taking advantage of that as well. But I mean, when you have something that's working, why try to fix it if it's not broken? Because they've been the best run prevention team in the majors, I think, clearly by far. I think the Mets have given up, the Mets who are number 2 in that category have given up something like 23 more runs. So Padres, a lot of that success is due to their bullpen, and they aren't afraid to lean on their bullpen. I'd say, why not, given what they've been doing on the mound so far.
Talking to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, or Lynn Sider. And Dennis, you've covered all of Manny Machado's tenure with the Padres. Do you get the sense that he is going into one of Manny's patented hot periods, just based on what you've seen over the last few days?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think having more protection in the lineup, I know some people don't really believe in that. I think that's certainly going to help. Jackson Merrill could be back tonight, depending on the weather. But you're saying just the effects of having even Luis Arise and Jason Hayward back. It used to be a very short-handed offense just as recently as a week ago. And now, Manny's got some more guys around him who are getting on base and also helping, drive him in occasionally. So I think he's always been a streaky guy. We've seen that over the years. And, if you hit a ball 115 miles an hour over the fence, that's a pretty good sign. So I would say, yeah, looks like he's getting locked in.
And I'd argue he's off to one of his best starts as a San Diego Padre. I mean, again, he doesn't, like you see the glaring thing that jumps off the page to the people that still kind of question Manny is had that opportunity to drive Fernando in the other night, less than 2 outs, runner on third base, and doesn't come through
in one pitch.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. I mean, look, I'm probably the guy's biggest fan, but you look at his StatCast, you look at his sliders, and the expected batting average is over 330 right now. The expected slug is 573. He's really been one of the more unlucky players in baseball. It is weird to see this many errors from him early, but again, for every error he makes up with a spectacular play. It is he's just one of those players, Dennis, that continues to be a lightning rod even after all these years.
Yeah, that's a good point. It feels like maybe it's just recency bias, but given what he did last season, but also last season he was playing with a surgically repaired elbow that was still recovering.
Right.
But, we've seen slow starts from him. We've seen him kind of underperform early in the season. Eventually always ends up inevitably, it seems like, at 30 home runs and right around 100 RBIs. So Padres will certainly take this. I think, at age 32, his range isn't what it once was on defense. But yeah, to your point he's still capable of making the spectacular play and most routine plays overall, to be fair.
Yeah.
So but the Padres, they have bigger concerns than Manny getting off to maybe a semi-slow start in defense, but they'll take anything they can get on offense because, like we talked about just a minute ago, it's been a short-handed offense for most of the season. Just it looks like right now they're getting all their guys back.
What do you think is the Padres' biggest concern right now? Obviously, it's hard to come in and Mike Schilt would just kick me in the shin after winning 5 straight games. If I was like, all right, let's find something to harp on right now. Is it Dylan Cease? Is it Randy Vasquez? So again, we're kind of laughing about it earlier. Randy Vasquez is a pretty excruciating watch. But you look up and it's 1-0 Padres or 2-1 the opposing team. You always feel like you're kind of in the game. That one start in Chicago notwithstanding, but like you look at it and you go, he seemingly keeps us in a ball game every time he grabs the ball.
It's amazing. Yeah, I look at his expected ERA, his fielding and independent pitching number, like all that stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of eyewash at some point, right? If he's getting results, he's getting results. But at the same time, you never feel super confident that he's going to go up there and put out, 6 innings and 2 runs. But somehow he's been doing it. So yeah, if we had to nitpick one area, maybe it's the back of the rotation. Kyle Hart's obviously back in AAA, and Stephen Kolek just came up and had a great start. His first career start in the majors. But yeah, I think if you're banking on Yu Darvish returning sometime in the next few weeks and staying healthy the rest of the season, that's probably a little ambitious at age 38, going to be 39 this summer. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of, how does this team that's been off such a great start, 22-11, how do they hold up over the course of a long season? I think it's easy to, kind of push that out of sight right now, but we have to remember it's a 6-month season, 162 games, and it's not about what you do in April, May. It's about how you finish the season.
Dennis, I think we may have talked a little bit about Luis Campusano last week. He's back, but I would be very surprised to see him behind the plate. It sounds like they are not planning on using him as a catcher on the big leagues anymore. I mean, is there any thought as to what the long-term plan is now for Luis Campusano? Or are they just hoping that they get a few hits out of a right-handed DH spot and they'll worry about Campy's future at some later date?
Short-term, intermediate term, I think it's got to be just primarily as a DH. I doubt you see any starts behind the plate anytime soon, barring an injury to somebody else. And then long-term, I guess looking at in the long term wouldn't be that long. Maybe looking at July or later. Maybe there's trade in his future. Although his value is obviously way down from where it was a couple of years ago. At the same time, they need the depth with Brett Sullivan. out of the organization, and not a lot of other options in the upper minors who would be ready for the majors. So yeah, it's an interesting opportunity for Campy, right? Because he's had all these starts and stops throughout his young career. Still young, by the way, but feels like his time with the Padres as a catcher are kind of over, to be frank. And yeah, as long as the Padres are again the number one run prevention team in the majors, and they're getting the occasional home run or double from Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz, I think they'll happily take that. And Campy will have to just kind of accept his role for now.
No doubt. Talking to Dennis Lynn here on Ben and Woods this morning, and it has not been made official yet. Jackson Merrill allegedly returning to the lineup tonight in New York. Have you heard anything on your end?
No, I think he's with the team or on his way. Obviously in the minor leagues they don't play Mondays anymore, so sending him out to San Antonio over the weekend for 2 games was the plan. But yeah, he had a couple singles the first game. I think he went over the second game, but it looks like he's been pretty comfortable running the bases and playing the field. So that was the kind of the last hurdle, and they want to be careful, obviously. That's why it ended up being about a month with a hamstring. That's how long he was sidelined for. But by the way, they went 14-9, I think, in his absence, and that's a 99 win pace. So all things considered, the Padres ended up on the right side of this.
I know PNC always gets high marks as one of the better ballparks in the league. Heard Jesse talking about it over the weekend. Beautiful skyline, really cool ballpark. I haven't been there yet. I have also not been to the new Yankee Stadium. Do you have a thought? Do you like going in for the history? Do you like the more modern ballparks, Dennis, when you're visiting?
I've only been here once. I'm trying to remember when it was. Might have been 2019. So definitely looking forward to my second official visit. The number one thing I remember about visit number 1 was just the press dining and how gluttonous was, because there's just a ton of food.
Fill us in
for whatever reason.
Fill
that
us in.
What are we
there
talking?
was like an entire table just for desserts, and it was like the messiest thing you've ever seen. It wasn't organized or anything. It was just like a bunch of plates and a bunch of desserts
thrown out there.
So I just remember this table. I'm kind of hoping it's still there, but we'll find out tonight. Because if there's a postponement or a delay, I'm sure Don and Mud, or I think it was just Don. I think everyone saw that graph that got popped up the other day.
I saw it. Yeah, all the things he ate.
Housed like 7 courses during a rain delay. I'm interested to see if Don, being a veteran in the AL East, can challenge his record.
Well, they leaned into it, then eating pierogies on the air as well during the broadcast. So
I'm looking for the menu. Here we go.
Press box dining.
Yeah, it's the during a 2 hour 37
for Don.
For Don, yeah. 2 hour and 37 minute rain delay in September of 2018 in Cincinnati. Don ate brisket, mac and cheese, ribs, chicken, pizza, hot dog, ice cream, peanuts, cauliflower / broccoli, and tater tots. That's a week's worth of food. So yes, please challenge him tonight, because you know it's going to be delayed tonight. You know it will. It doesn't look great in New York right now, but challenge him to try to beat that record. We would love to hear and see all about it, Dennis.
Yeah, maybe it's worth documenting permanently online somewhere in the pages at the Athletic. So
that's actually a really good idea for a story, and I know that I would read it, as I always read all of your stuff, D-Lynn. Thank you, buddy. Have fun in the Big Apple and stay dry, my friend.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Dennis Lynn with The Athletic. Thank you to Hamul Casino. They bring us Dennis each week as we get our Lynn Steiner's perspective on the San Diego Padres. It is tough in a rain delay. There's not a lot to do in a ballpark.
Snack, but
they have food. It's there. You just kind of end up eating it. Mud played Jenga during a rain delay. They showed a picture of that as well. You're just trying to fill some time because you don't know how long you're going to be there.
Try to grab a nap, I think.
Where?
In your chair. You have another chair.
It's not that comfy.
This is fairly comfy.
I mean, maybe if you're in a booth like Don and Mud, you can do that, but if you're just sitting out in the press box. There's
no not the press box.
There's no napping in the press box.
Could you put your head down on the counter?
Yeah,
you look like a junkie or something.
Probably would. I've maybe done that once or twice in my life.
Have you?
Another late night for Mud.
Yeah. Oh, somebody went out last night. Yeah, the graphic for Don Orsillo, it's just incredible. And
brisket,
then he had
mac and cheese, ribs, chicken, which we don't even know what that was.
Yeah, what was it?
Wings,
chicken leg, a breast?
Pizza, hot dog, ice cream, peanuts, cauliflower and
just kind of
broccoli.
get something healthy in there.
And then tater tots.
I mean, look at the picture of Don. You can see he's lost some weight.
When
since
was this?
then.
Like 2018?
He said that was
2019.
he was at his heaviest then. He said so. He's definitely dialed it in a little bit in seating news.
You'd have to. You would have to. That lifestyle would just eat you alive. I'd be 400 pounds. But hey, Woodsy, how'd the first year go? I'm gonna have a coronary.
You know, Jesse's so disciplined.
So
on the road.
disciplined.
And that's why, he knows that he can get away from you really
Don
fast.
can get away with it because Mud's not disciplined.
That's true. That's true.
Jesse and Tony, they're a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we will come back. Final hour of Ben and Woods ahead. We got more baseball results, basketball playoffs, the Reindl Report still to come as well. And I don't think Paulie's played the sounder to give away the Padres tickets.
I literally just played it.
Oh, he did? I missed it on 97.3 The Fan. So apparently, Paulie did play the sounder, and we did get a winner to the Padres tickets.
That's correct.
Who was our winner, Paulie?
Dylan.
Congratulations. You're going to go see the Padres Angels on Wednesday, May 14th, with the first 40,000 fans in attendance, receiving a free reversible retro bucket hat. You can get your tickets at padres.com/tickets. That's the Angels and Mariners on the next homestand for your San Diego Padres after they finish their 9-game road trip this week. Still have to go to New York and Colorado.
Oof, man. Manny even said after the game yesterday that they don't play well in Colorado, and that's how it's so important to get these wins in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, man, and everybody on the roundtable last week just, we're not worried. I'm like, Paul, you have that ready in case we lose 2 or 3 to the Rockies.
Oh, yeah.
You got to roast everybody on the roundtable. It's just playing with fire. It's kind of like walking around without a phone case.
You did this when the Rockies came to Petco Park a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but we're playing in Colorado, a literal house of horrors.
I mean, they're more of like they're not quite a 500 team, but they at least have a few wins at home this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you can't ever expect a sweep on the road. Congratulations for the Padres for getting that sweep in Pittsburgh. They'll certainly be favored in all 3 of those games.
Yes. Yeah.
Against the Rockies. Doesn't mean you're going to win all of them, but you should win that series.
Yeah, you absolutely should.
And if you do that, then all you have to do is take 1 against the Yankees to get a 6-3 road trip, which would be fantastic. Now you get greedy, though, and you think 7-2, a possibility.
How about a 9-0 road trip,
Hey,
Benjamin? Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
Love
Aim
it.
high.
I was just going back and listening to the end of the last segment. It was about 30 seconds between me playing the sounder. It was just under 30 seconds where then Ben goes, and Paulie still hasn't played that sounder.
Yeah, he did. He played it. He snuck it in
We were
there.
talking about Don, so I heard Don. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. Paulie's very tricky sometimes.
He is.
He was at his heaviest then, he said.
Yeah.
So he's definitely dialed it in a little bit in seeding years.
Yeah, you'd have to. You would have to. And I ignore it because
good
for the audience.
Basketball playoffs, the Reindl Report still to come as well. And I don't think Paulie's played the sounder to give away the Padres tickets.
Literally just played.
Oh, he did? I missed it on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, fine, he says. All right.
I will acknowledge that one. I missed it. I definitely missed it.
All right, fine. It's the only proper way to respond.
Do have some news for you. Congratulations to Leo Dallas DeVries, who was just named the Midwest League Player of the Month for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Pretty good start to his season for the 18-year-old, playing against opponents who are 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than he is in high single-A ball. Had a really good month. Did have his 8th error yesterday. I guess he's struggled a little bit with consistency in the field, but remember,
he has also made some really spectacular plays as well.
Remember, he's 18 years old.
18 years old.
Yeah.
It's funny. I noticed that the Yankees, who the Padres will be taking on now, Benny, they promoted their shortstop, George Lombard Jr. It's their top prospect. He got promoted to Double-A Somerset.
He's a little bit older than DeVries.
Yeah, he's 19 years old. He was hitting .329, 1 homer, 13 RBI, 11 stolen bases, and a real big talent for them. So they're promoting him to the upper minors. And again, like he's what, a year older. I mean, he looks like he's 14 years old. George Lombard Jr. He really does. Leo looks like he looks like a big leaguer already at 18. It's crazy.
Yeah, Lombard's hitting for an insane average, but Leo actually has a better slugging percentage with more power at 18, which is that's nuts. Usually that's what is the last thing to develop is the power, and DeVries is really hitting it as hard or harder than anybody else at that level already at age 18.
Yeah, it's nuts. So fast track for the Yankees' #1 prospect. Will we soon see that for Leo Dallas DeVries? There's no rush. There's literally no rush to do it. And again, as they always tell us, they'll tell us when they're ready for the next step. So interested to see. But you mentioned last week, I think it was the play-by-play guy or somebody that works in the organization was like, better come see him while you can. He may not be here much longer.
It's definitely possible they're thinking about aggressively promoting him just to give him a look at maybe some tougher pitching, see how he responds. Yankees, by the way, lost their 2nd straight series yesterday. The Tampa Bay Rays took 2 out of 3 with a 7-5 win.
That makes me feel better because they swept us.
The Rays swept us,
us.
and then they got swept by Kansas City, I think, and then they took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. So figure out the Rays; they don't make a lot of sense. The Red Sox, meanwhile, tough one yesterday. Not only did they lose to the Twins 5-4, their ace pitcher Garrett Crochet took a line drive right off his nose,
right off the tip.
Yeah,
like he turned his face, and you see it just
grazed
his nose,
like centimeters away from a trip to the hospital.
Still hit his nose. Make no mistake, it hit him in the nose. It just didn't hit him flush in the nose, and it just hit and skirted on by.
Now he stayed in the game. He was okay.
He
Stayed in the game. The really bad news for the Red Sox is that they're losing Tristan Casas for the season.
Patellar
tendon. Yeah, it's surgery.
I think he tore his patella. Ugh.
So that's a big blow to the Red Sox, who have kind of gotten off to a mediocre start.
That was my World Series pick.
Yeah. So my World Series pick has been even worse. The Orioles,
one of the worst teams.
The Orioles lost to the Royals 11-6 yesterday. A Royals team that had the fewest home runs in all of baseball hit 7 of them yesterday against the Orioles, who just have not had the pitching. I mean, you knew that it'd be tough to replace Corbin Burns, but they have not done anything. Pitching-wise, they've been a disaster so far this season. The Orioles, my World Series pick.
Yeah, we are on fire.
Been even worse than your World Series pick. Guardians 5-4 with the Blue Jays. They took 2 of 3 in that series. Guess who has won 4 straight series? Your Sacramento, your athletics organization. They beat the Marlins 3-2 and are kind of hanging right there. Not in first place, but certainly with a winning record there. And in a weak American League, there are playoff spots to be had.
There are opportunities in the American League like crazy, Benjamin.
I mean, you'd rather be the A's at 3 games above 500 than like the Reds at about the same place in the National League. Because in the National League, it looks like a mountain to climb. I mean, you have to hang, first of all,
with
you got to hang Braves and the Diamondbacks, and then you got to pass someone like the Padres or the Giants or the Phillies just to get into a playoff spot. And no such struggles in the American League where – literally you get into mid 80s in wins and you got a really good shot at making the playoffs this year. Now, things change. We said that in the National League last year, and it turned out you needed to get to 89, and that even wasn't enough for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who got aced out with 89 wins. So it can change, but right now it's definitely looks like there's playoff spots available. Don't think the White Sox are going to get one, but they did get a rare series win, taking 2 of 3 from the Astros with a 5-4 7-inning win, reigning in the South Side. Rangers beat the Mariners 8-1. Tigers over the Angels 13-1. 11 runs batted in combined for Kerry Carpenter and Trey Sweeney in
11.
that one. Yeah, the two of them, 6 and 5. In the National League, Nationals over the Reds 4-1. Nats take that series. Cardinals swept a doubleheader from the Mets 6-5 and 5-4. They had lost the first 5 games of the season series. So these are the last 2 games against the Mets all year. They won them both. Brewers shut out the Cubs 4-0 to avoid the sweep. And we talked about the NL West earlier with the D-backs beating the Phillies in extra innings and the Giants taking 3 of 4 from the Rockies. They dropped that first game, but came back and won the last 3 against Colorado. Willy Adames starting to heat up now in May. Had 2 home runs, his 3rd and 4th of the season. Had that one against the Padres when the Padres swept them last week. But the Giants continuing to play pretty good baseball as they go forward.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
And the Braves beat the Dodgers 4-3. They got 2 home runs from Austin Riley off Dustin May, and then held on by the skin of their teeth to avoid a season series sweep. The Dodgers had won the first 5, and the Braves took the last one to just take 1 out of the 6.
And I think LA goes back to play Miami now. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah, more Marlins. Although Padres go on to face the Yankees. Now it all evens out in the end.
It does. It evens out in the end, but you want to keep that. You want to keep that train rolling. And as we mentioned earlier, losing 4 games in a row, kind of a bummer. You win 5 straight, and you look up, and you go, oh, okay, they're continuing to dominate teams as well. And now they get the Marlins again for another 3.
I get the sense, though, that I don't know that any team that faces the Dodgers, whether it's a team with a winning record, whether it's the Mets or the Phillies or the Padres, they always feel like you got to step up your game to face the Dodgers, whereas the Dodgers are favored in every single game they play. Yeah, pretty much. It's not usual for a baseball team to be favored. And I don't have they been an underdog at all this year? You tend to look at the odds.
They may have been in one of those bullpen games or something like that. But again, I mean, I think they've employed a couple of bullpen games. I think they've both gone pretty well. Again, they've got good arms still left on that team, but what's doing it for them is their offense. Their offense is Mookie starting to heat up. Tommy Edman did go down. He's going to be out for at least.
I mean, Michael Conforto has not done anything for
nothing.
them since he signed. Kike has had a bad season, had a few homers early.
Andy
but
Pages has turned into one of the best players in baseball out of nowhere.
They called up Haesung Kim.
Yep.
From the minors yesterday. He pinch ran in the game against the Braves. But, it's not like they've gotten a ton. Max Muncy is starting to heat up a little bit, but his slug is still under 300.
It's crazy.
For the season. It's really been all about the top four guys, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez. And it's actually Freddie Freeman who's had the best start of all of them.
See this number against right-handed pitching? He's betting 448 against right-handers over the last 2 weeks. 448. That's insane. So, yeah, I mean, you can weather a lot of storms when you have 3 MVPs at the top, and Teoscar Hernandez is a stud.
It blows my mind, since it was the Braves and the Dodgers yesterday. Blows my mind that the Braves let Freddie Freeman walk.
It's staggering.
He wanted to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it was a big it was a big chunk of change, but I mean, did they think that he wasn't going to keep being Freddie Freeman? Because he's been Freddie Freeman plus since going to the Dodgers. It has to be a huge regret in Atlanta.
The guy wept. He wept when you let him go, and
like multiple times.
he is one of those guys where it's like, well, it's like Kyle Tucker from the Astros. What are you thinking? Like, sometimes these guys they think they're the smartest guy in the room, and it's like,
how old's Freddie? Like
34.
So he was. So like picture Fernando at 31, 32.
You're like,
he's 35 now. He'll be 36 later this season.
Okay.
And he was there for his whole career.
Yeah, you developed him.
Imagine 10 years of Fernando, and then still not on the back nine quite yet.
No, not
obviously.
even close.
And just saying, hey, you know what? We love you, but we just can't afford you anymore.
No, it's not. I don't even think it was a Ford. It was like, you don't deserve what you're asking for.
Thanks for the ring.
And they can absolutely afford.
They just won it, right?
Yeah.
Now that makes it a lot easier, I guess.
It does.
But I mean, and Matt Olson's been a decent replacement, but they signed him for $168 million.
Right.
It's not like they just got a free. It's not like they had a young prospect who just
he's coming up,
needed to play and was going to be absolutely cheap. And we love you, Freddie, but we got this guy that's right. No, they had to go out and spend $168 million on his replacement, who's been good, but he hasn't been Freddie Freeman good.
It's crazy to me.
It is one of the biggest mysteries here.
Stupid ass Red Sox let Mookie Betts go for a bag of balls.
Why don't let him go to the Dodgers?
I know.
Too?
It's just insane to me. I mean, those are good moves by them. And Freddie Freeman won them a World Series. Mookie Betts has helped them win a World Series.
Letting Teoscar Hernandez go to the Dodgers too.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
They have done well. I mean, again, when you sign so many free agents, it's going to look like you did well. Like Conforto has not done anything for them at all. They haven't hit on everybody, but they sign enough that it looks like their track record is outstanding
for sure
on free agents.
For sure.
Ohtani's been okay for them.
Yeah, he's not pretty good. I saw some Dodger blog tweeting, hey, should we rush, not rush, but should we get Shohei back on the mound sooner than later? And I said, absolutely.
That's a great idea.
I trust your pitching I trust your pitching staff implicitly. So yes, let's get him back on the hill sooner than later. Don't forget, they got him coming back.
Yep. And, it's assuming that, Gonsolin and May are going to get more locked in as they get a little more comfortable and more post-surgery.
Like, does he plan to pitch at all this year?
Yeah, they're saying
like later in the year.
Later in the season, yeah.
So, yeah, they'll be right before the playoffs, get him and Snell going.
Adam is in the chamber. He says, Olson is 4 years younger. That played a big part in the decision. They also had to trade prospects to get Olson. So, yeah, you could have spent the money and just kept Freddie Freeman there and, one of the cornerstones of your franchise. But no, you had to let him go to LA.
Just felt like maybe he was about to drop off the cliff.
Sure didn't.
He has not hit any cliffs whatsoever so far.
Not even a little.
I mean, I was hoping it as a Padre fan, obviously, when they signed him.
Oh, yeah.
That, he'll be good for a little while, but hopefully by the second or third season, he'll be just a pedestrian first baseman.
Just batting 500 off of right-handers the last 2 weeks. So how'd you like that out of your first base production?
Aaron Judge has been doing that all season long.
Yep.
In fact, his batting average on balls in play is 500.
Oh,
he makes contact. There's
God.
a 50% chance he's getting a hit, and probably it's an extra base hit at some point. That's how good he's been. When the Padres face him, they have kind of shown their hand when it comes to facing stars. Did it with O'Neal Cruz. Weren't going to let O'Neal Cruz beat them. They walked him a bunch this weekend. They were very careful with Kyle Tucker, very careful with opposing stars. And I imagine Aaron Judge is not going to see a ton to hit if the Padres pitchers are executing their game plan over the next 3 days.
Fine by me. Let somebody else beat you in that lineup. Can't let Aaron Judge beat you.
Now, the Yankees have a deeper lineup than the Pirates do.
Oh, yeah.
So Judge could end up scoring some of those runs. O'Neal Cruz those walks never really came back to haunt the Padres.
Well, and again, if you can minimize the guys in front of Judge getting on, that's really where you win. Trent Grisham, can't let Trent Grisham continue to stay hot and torch the franchise like he wants to. He's off to a really, really good start. So good for him, but hope he reverts to the Padres Trent Grisham when we play him.
It's a really good pitching matchup tonight. Nick Pivetta on the mound against Carlos Rodon, who's been very good so far for the Yankees this year, but not as good as Pivetta has been for the Padres. Pivetta, of course, I would assume is quite familiar with the mound there at Yankee Stadium after spending so much time in the AL East. So I like having him to start this series for the Padres. But again, Yankee Stadium is a bandbox. I mean, it really is a place where, those deep flies that died in Pittsburgh, that die at Petco Park, the knock on him with the Red Sox was he was always a good pitcher. Home run ball would beat him. And playing in places like Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium probably contributed to that. So,
well, listen, he is 1-4 with an ERA of 6.99. 58 strikeouts and 13 appearances in the regular season and playoffs against the Yankees in his career. Probably not the most comfortable mound for him to be on, but he has pitched a little bit in relief there, but his starts have not gone well.
I still am happier to have him on the mound than probably Stephen Kolek going, in his first major league start at Yankee Stadium. I think it's worked out the plan so far for the Padres. And, this is a different Nick Pivetta. This isn't the one that, pitched for the Red Sox. He's been a different guy so far for the San Diego Padres.
So.
All right, we'll come back. We still have our Reindl Report. Want to talk about the basketball playoffs over the weekend, as well as we now fully into the second round of the NBA playoffs. That is all coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, May is here. We're getting closer to summer, but you still have May gray and June gloom, which are great months to lose the pounds in time for the July fry and the August, bathing suit and T-shirt and flip-flop season. You can lose a lot of weight with sdfatloss.com in a very minimal amount of time. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and they say that's pretty typical. Most clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two, up to a pound of fat per day, 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. sdfatloss.com, a doctor-developed, easy-to-follow plan. Lose weight fast, naturally and safely. No drugs, no injections, and I love this part, no bars or shakes to buy. They kind of, were gross when I did those prep plans. I like eating just regular food, real stuff, chicken and steak and vegetables. Help me stick with the program and really help me with the maintenance plan once I was done, because you're not just jumping right off the wagon and going back into real food. It's so much better for maintenance. That really, I think, is the secret with sdfatloss.com. Program costs half as much, works twice as fast as most other programs. And right now, you can get $200 off. The spring special still happening here in the month of May. So go to sdfatloss.com now and schedule your free consultation right now at sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Looking at Trent Grisham's numbers, yeah, it's off to a really good start. 296 average, 8 homers, 15 RBI, 979 OPS. He's hit safely 6 of his last 7 games. Man, all right. Hey, good for Trent.
Yeah.
I mean, he always kind of has had it in him, but I don't know, just never quite put it all together. Other than the postseason series or two when he got hot, he just never seemed to make contact.
Boy, when he hit it, when he would put that swing on it though, that A swing, Ben, and when he hit it, you're like, that's way out. I mean, beautiful looking swing from Trent Grisham. Problem was he would end up staring at those fastballs down the middle, and it would just make you insane. Always played with the glove. The glove was always solid. But man, yeah, you can't let Trent Grisham go in there and beat you in Yankee Stadium. You can, but I hope you don't.
But you can't let Aaron Judge beat you either.
Correct.
And you can't just pitch around everybody.
What's the rest of their lineup look like?
Let's see. With
Austin Wells.
Volpe perhaps out. He's day-to-day right now.
Oh, you got Goldschmidt, too.
Yeah, he's off to a decent start as well.
Ben Rice is swinging the bat pretty well from Cody Bellinger. I mean, a lot of guys that you've seen in the NL West for many, many years that are now part of the New York Yankees. Yeah, he said Volpe hopes to return to the lineup Monday, 2 days after getting hurt. So, yeah, he's day-to-day right now. Yeah, going to be an interesting one. Again, that's all that the season is, Benny. It's just litmus test after litmus test. You played really well against the Pirates. Great. You're supposed to win those games. Now, how can you do, how do you do in the Bronx?
We still have no official word on Jackson Merrill's return, although Dennis Lynn did tell us expected to either be in New York or on his way to New York. My guess is he probably flew in after the Missions game last night and met them there. So I would think he would be activated before game 1 of the series, but that has not been officially announced by the Padres yet. Speaking of game 1s, got a couple of them tonight in the NBA. Knicks Celtics game 1, which is really the only big market teams left after the Lakers were knocked out. The Clippers were knocked out over the weekend. You've got kind of a lot of stars left. I mean, Steph Curry won Game 7 last night over the Rockets. Really good defensive performance by the Warriors, holding Houston to just 87 points. Buddy Hield was hot. Steph Curry wasn't until the fourth quarter, then he was. But they'll take on the Timberwolves, and Timberwolves are probably favored in that series. So I think the nightmare for the NBA would be like an Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Indiana, and then Boston Final Four. You got really small market teams, which is rare in the NBA, but they all have big stars. I mean, with Ant-Man and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Tyrese Halliburton, plenty of good players left.
It's just the market.
It's just the markets are kind of on the smallish side here in the final 8.
You could be looking at a Cleveland-Oklahoma City finals.
Right? I mean, that sounds like the nightmare for Adam Silver.
It's been going great, though. The ratings are up.
But Donovan Mitchell, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would be a cool series if that's who it was. I just wonder what the numbers would be like.
They've been good so far
for the NBA.
They've been good. They've been good so far. Ratings have been way up for the NBA playoffs. They're playing a little bit different brand of basketball in the NBA playoffs right now too. A little more physical.
Fouls called,
No fouls called. They're kind of letting the kids play out there. It's been interesting. But Knicks Celtics is that's pretty juicy.
That's one's interesting. Knicks fans say they're going to get bodied.
Really?
I mean, they were surprised they won the first series, and now they think they're going to absolutely get smoked by the Celtics, but we'll see.
What does Dak Prescott think? Because as I forgot to mention this morning.
And my son was really bummed. Obviously, Clippers just got absolutely, they lost by 19. It wasn't even nearly that close in Game 7 on Saturday. The Nuggets are a weird story. Remember, they fired their coach like 4 days before the end of the season, and here they are now, 2 series away from the NBA Finals again, still with, Jokic on the team and Murray. I mean, they're a good team. They'll take on the Thunder, though. I think most people think the Thunder are going to roll in that series.
And the Thunder roll.
Yeah, they did. They
and
did
the
in the first
lightning
round.
Strikes. It's old Garth Brooks jam.
Although I think the most popular draw this weekend in basketball was Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Who sold out a WNBA preseason game back in Iowa. They went on the road to her old college town.
She hit about a 70-footer, too, from beyond the... What's the arc? How many feet?
28.
Not even 24 for women. I know it's like 24, 23, I think. Yeah.
About 45 feet. Looked like she drained
They have a little sticker on the floor. This is 22 Clark, where she hit the record breaker.
So, set the all-time points record.
And she was about 10 feet behind that.
It was unbelievable. No, I was driving in this morning. Oh, no, I wasn't driving in. I walked into the studio this morning. And Maggie and Perloff were talking about, well, guess what? Obviously, today, on Monday.
The 5th.
It was not Dodgers Braves. Yep. It was about 5. It was LeBron James.
I heard some of that conversation.
The eliminated Los Angeles Lakers. It was LeBron v. Steph. Okay. So I went, oh man, come on. So go to the bathroom, come back in, and the next conversation was about the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not even kidding. It was Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. And I'm like, this is the formula. This is all you have to do. How easy it would be to be a national radio host. Cowboys, LeBron, legacy, Tom Brady, mix him in there.
You're not even coming up with new LeBron dialogue.
Their new twist was who's been the better player post 35, Steph or LeBron. It's like you can't even compare them. LeBron's 3.5 years older than Steph. Call me in 3 years and tell me who's had the better post 35 career.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah,
it was a tough.
You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. I want to get to a Reindl Report.
I bet you don't.
Paulie's got some headlines for us in our final segment coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
7 Mile Casino is our place to play. So the first thing that draws you to 7 Mile Casino is the proximity.
Yes.
There are other card rooms in San Diego. Most of them require about a 45 to 55-minute drive to the East County and back. So that's an hour and 40 minutes that you could be playing, but instead you're in your car. Whereas at 7 Mile Casino, you're there in 7 minutes from downtown. It's like 14 minutes. So that's an extra, hour and a half that you get to sit at the tables and enjoy yourself.
Man, I like things convenient. I really do. And 7 Mile is just a really convenient place. Not only is it so close when you walk in, it's all right there. You don't have to walk miles and miles to get to the table that you want to play at or anything like that. Smoke-free environment as well. They got great food, friendly dealers, beautiful view outside on the look overlooking the bay. They got a great bar area as well. So, guys, check it out. If you haven't done it for yourself yet, make the very short trip down to 7 Mile Casino, no matter where you are. I mean, if
Absolutely.
you're here, it's like 12 minutes. It's not that far.
High limit action, everything you're looking for in a card room and more. It's 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Thanks to Boomer for getting us caught up on the Kentucky Derby. Haven't really talked about the race. I didn't actually watch it. It was rainy, muddy. Journalism, who was the favorite, could not muster a rally at the end to defeat Sovereignty.
I put $10 on Owens Delight, who was the #1 long shot, and that's my nephew's name. I figured, wow, going to Texas to see him play in a tournament. So, put $10, would have won 900, I think. Easy bet. But
there's absolutely no rationale as to why that would help the horse win the race.
No, none whatsoever. But if you see a horse with your kid's name or something that jogs something in you, I always do that. But
see, because so many people do that, if I ever owned a racehorse, I would want to name it something really unappealing, so people wouldn't bet on it. So then when I bet on it, it would win a lot more money.
Can you bet on your own racehorse? I'm
Absolutely.
sure you can. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's why you probably have a racehorse.
I think that's part of the point.
Yeah. So, you make the name sound, like slow as molasses. But it's really a great horse. But, it keeps it's parimutuel. So the odds are based totally on how many people bet on your horse versus the other horses. So if you could dissuade more people from betting on your horse, it would increase your payout. So the slower sounding names, you would theoretically would give you better paybacks.
Crippled Nag is the name of my horse. No, I don't. I'm not.
Glue Factory.
Whoa. Good Lord, man.
And they're all the horse names have to be registered. There's a whole database, so they all have to be different and unique.
Crumb Creep would be
that would be
that
good.
would be a
that
really
would be a great name.
Crumb Creep, my horse. Glue Factory, by the
You're
way.
a crumb creep.
Loose Cannabis. Oh, also
Hot beef.
Loose
Cannabis. Hot beef.
Hot Beef is a great horse.
Especially for the announcer coming down the stretch. There was a horse.
It was Hoof Hearted. They did that on purpose.
Yes.
Hoof Hearted.
Hard-headed.
Hoof Hearted.
That's so old. That's such an old clip.
That is an old one.
Hoof Hearted. All right, Paulie.
Who farted? Last check of traffic, and then Paulie's Reindl Report next here on 97 through the Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by City Cruises. Parts of the county is still getting hit with some scattered showers, guys, so you definitely want to take that into consideration. Please have those headlights on so you're more visible to other drivers. Pretty gray out there. Accident has been cleared out of the HOV lane northbound 5 before Carmel Valley Road, and a crash clearing up ahead from the Delmar Heights Road off-ramp of northbound 5. Set sail with Randy Hauser as he lights up the bay for an exclusive concert cruise like no other. Join us on Friday, May 23rd with City Cruises live in San Diego for an epic night of country music, dinner, drinks, and skyline views. Get tickets now at citycruises.com/live. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy Monday, gentlemen.
Happy Monday, Paulie.
Let's see where to start today. How about a little foosball? In college football, got an update to a story that we talked about quite a bit while ago now. The Connor Stallions advanced scouting scandal. Say that 5 times fast. With Michigan football.
Yep.
We do have an update. Sharon Moore, the head coach for the University of Michigan, he is going to be suspended for 2 games as part of the self-imposed sanctions by the school.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't even the coach at the time.
No.
He was just the coordinator.
Somebody's got to take
Jim
the fall.
Harbaugh was the coach.
You can't punish him.
He skated.
He skated. He's in the NFL now. So the suspensions are actually going to be in week 3 and 4 of this upcoming year. That's going to be week 3 against Central Michigan and week 4 against Nebraska.
Okay.
He will be there for their first 2 games. Now, probably could have taken a suspension for the first one against New Mexico.
Yep.
But then they have a very high-profile non-conference game in week 2 against Oklahoma.
his alma mater.
You can't suspend someone for weeks 1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
2-game suspension.
Right.
This is low key huge diss on Nebraska. By the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll serve that one. It's like my 7-year-old asked me last night.
Central Michigan and Nebraska. Y'all agreed with that.
I'll do that one.
Yeah.
My 7-year-old asked me last night. I tucked him in. He gets the Sunday scaries pretty bad. He likes the weekend. He's 7 years old. We all do. Tuck him in, go cuddle with him for a bit. He goes, Dad, why do we work 5 days, go to school 5 days, and only have 2 days off? I go, I don't know, because some moron decided that's the way that it should be. He goes, we should have at least 3 days off. He goes, how about this? School Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get Thursday off. Then you go back Friday. And I go, no, you don't want one in the middle. You can't. I go, Bo, you don't want to take a day off and then have to go back for 1 day. And then you have 2 days off. I go, just 3 at the end. All day Friday. He goes, well, because Sunday's not even really a weekend day because you got to go to school the next day. I go, buddy, you're way ahead of the game here. But when your 7-year-old's complaining about going to school, I'm in for a really long scene with this. If he already hates school and wants an extra day off, like father, like son. But I don't know who came up with that brilliant idea of.
Well, the brilliant idea was shortening the 6-day work week to 5 days at some point.
All right, I guess we shouldn't complain then.
Let's keep it the way we got it.
Let's just shut our
You used to get
holes.
Sunday off as your day of rest, and then you went right back to it Monday through Saturday.
Forget it.
And then they decided, you know what would be nice? How about a second day off? And then we'll call it the weekend.
The weekend. How bad would it suck to get...
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
How bad would it suck to get Thursday off every week and you have to come back on Friday? Forget it.
Never.
No, he just hates Thursdays.
Everybody can work from home, I guess, on Friday. But yeah.
Now, there has been some moves for companies in recent years who've toyed with the idea of doing like 10-hour work days Monday through Thursday. So you get your 40 hours in and then have 3 days off Friday, Saturday,
like
Sunday.
This one where you don't have to come to work Monday or Friday if you're in sales or whatever.
My wife works 9-hour days and then gets every other Monday off.
Well, let's see. There you go.
Yeah.
I take it.
Yeah.
I mean, we work 4 hours, technically.
You gonna play that?
We work a lot more than
you know what I'm saying, but technically. All right, I'll shut up.
All right. And then, that's your college football update.
All
In
right.
Major League Baseball, we haven't gotten to this one yet. The Texas Rangers made a move.
Here in Dallas,
They fired, now not the hitting coach, but their offensive coordinator.
Hitting coach, yeah.
Donnie Ecker was fired. They have struggled offensively. Now, the announcement came after they won 8-1 yesterday over the Mariners, which always makes me laugh. You're like, wait, they fired the hitting coach and they just won 8-1. But even with that 8-1 win, the Rangers are a game under 500. They're last in the American League with 113 runs scored.
Wow.
So they just have not been getting guys across the plate. It says here on ESPN, before their win over the Mariners, the Rangers had only scored 30 runs during a 2-9 stretch.
That's tough, dude.
And it just
11
wasn't
games,
going well.
man.
So Chris Young, president of baseball operations for the Rangers, they decided to go in a different direction.
They said he's the word that I saw in the article I read was impatient. Like his patience is worn thin at this point. And
Chris Young,
yeah. And listen, when you had some success like they did, they've spent some money too. Don't forget, they have spent a lot of money.
The Texas Rangers.
Yes, there they are. They've spent a lot of money. Is that enough time? Like, is this the time? Is this the time when you go, these guys are going to figure it out? Because you certainly wouldn't do it to a player. You wouldn't cut Corey Seager because he got off to it, and it's
Right.
May 4th or whatever, May 5th. You're not going to send a player down or whatever, one of your regulars, or bench him or anything like that. Scapegoat. Always an easy scapegoat.
I mean, sometimes you do feel like you need a different voice or a change.
Sure.
I doubt that this was a Bruce Bochy call, though, because this is reportedly in, I believe, his 28th year as manager. He has never fired one of his coaches in a season, not even like at the end of the year. So to do so in May, after 28 years ago, no, once we got our coaching staff in place, I'm not making changes.
Wow. Yeah, you need continuity, right?
That's a pretty remarkable step that they took.
Boch wasn't actually even in the article I read. He wasn't even really mentioned. It was a Chris Young decision.
Right.
So I think he's calling the shots there in Texas. And again, I know nothing. What's the guy's name? Donnie Eckert?
Donnie Eckert.
I know nothing about him. Nothing whatsoever where I could say, oh, well, clearly, what he's doing is right. I have no earthly idea other than
just look at the results.
It's a very quick, it's quick. There's still plenty of time for the Texas Rangers, especially in a very weak AL, to turn it around. But
I guess that gives me some comfort if I'm a Rangers fan, I guess. I mean, you got to trust in their decision making, but rather than just let it go all year long,
that's the thing.
They're like, hey, we're not kicking away, we're not punting this season yet. We're not gonna be sellers.
I don't know. To me, a coaching change is usually signs we're grasping at straws.
Potentially,
they don't really have an answer. They just nothing else is working, so let's try this, a different voice.
I mean, unless the guy got drunk and tore up the locker room or something, he's not fired for cause,
right?
And I don't know, man. I again, there's plenty of time for them to figure out their offensive struggles. I did see the fan base I saw that was most mad about it was the Houston Astros. I saw a lot of Astros fans like, oh, nice. Like, look, this is what a team that's trying to win does. You see that, and you want to be them because the Astros are struggling as well. They just dropped a series to the White Sox. Like, that's inexcusable. So, Texas Rangers, I guess you can look at it both ways. One, scapegoating, or the other way of, no, we're going to take care of business and try to turn this thing around.
The Texas Rangers
here in Dallas.
All right. And then finally got an update to something that we talked about quite a bit last year. And sometimes things just work out very well, because earlier this morning in our 8:00 hour, we were talking about Ben and how he just lives without a phone case anymore.
Just on the edge.
Just dangerous. And we said you just raw dog it.
Yeah, you raw dog it.
No protection, no case.
Without the case.
Yep. So we talked about it. It was one of the biggest viral terms of 2024, raw dogging flights, where you sit, and if you're lucky enough to have the plane with the screen in front of you, you could watch yourself on the map and watch the plane, but you're not watching anything else.
I love that
not
map.
listening
You are
to
just
music,
raw dogging.
not reading.
I love that map.
I'm curious if you guys have heard about the sequel to raw dogging, barebacking. You guys heard of this?
Well, I've heard it in rodeo context, whereas
rodeo context.
You have the riders who ride with saddles,
Mhm.
and then you have the riders who ride bareback, which is much more difficult because there's no stirrup or reins. You just have to hold on to the horse, which is trying to like buck you off,
right,
while you ride bareback.
Right. I'm reading here.
I heard about it in a different context. That's not rodeo riding. The old bareback.
I believe that the rodeo is the proper context.
We're talking about viral terms here and how it pertains to
Paulie, how
technology.
How are you referring
This
to
isn't me. This is actually from Fortune magazine. They were talking about, there was this TikTok that's gone viral, and they were talking about barebacking on trains or subways, which is where you are commuting to work without preoccupying yourself with literally anything. No phone, no video game, no Switch, nothing.
Okay.
Not even a book or a newspaper or a magazine. You are just sitting on the train or the subway and just staring.
Can I watch? Can I look out the window? I love looking out the window.
You can look out the window. You can look at other people on the cart with you.
I rarely.
No book, no magazine, no newspaper,
Isn't
no
that
phone.
the same thing?
I don't train much, but when I do, I probably spend most of the time just looking out the window as I go.
Raw dogging on the plane, you at least have the screen in front of you. You can watch the map. This is nothing. And they're calling it
I feel like
bareback.
Because I used to commute like that when I lived in Chicago. It was always on the L. I feel like I raw dogged it most of the time. Or barebacked it. Most of the time.
People watching is always interesting on trains.
Most of the time you're standing and you're holding onto the pole. No, it's usually the pole. And you're, kind of bobbing back and forth. You're just trying to not fall down and look like an idiot. But I feel like I usually had a Walkman on at the time.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't do that. Nope.
I'm not someone who listens to music or AirPods much anyway.
Yeah.
And I
So
certainly
glad I bought you
I
AirPods.
can't read on a train.
No,
Because I get car sick or train sick.
I used to try to read the Chicago Sun-Times, and you sit
Can't
and you're
do
like, I'm
that.
taking up a tremendous amount
I
of
really
room.
have to look outside to keep from getting motion sickness. So I pretty much just stare out the window when I'm a passenger in anything.
So one could say then you are a fan of bareback.
And just that's what I do. I stare out the window.
I think,
watch the scenery go by.
Yep. Barebacking.
Elisa gets motion sickness too. How are you on in cars.
Fine.
Car sick, you don't?
No.
I get car sick if I'm driving, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, I don't get
But
sick.
anything else, I have to look out the window. I cannot look down. I cannot sit in the back. I definitely still get motion sickness.
I used to lie when I was a kid that if I ever sat in the back seat, I would get sick.
So you could
so
sit
that
in
I
front.
always could get the front seat.
Yeah,
but you didn't really?
No.
No, I can read. I can watch movies, whatever. My kids get sick in the back. Hey, look up, so you don't vomit all over yourself in the car and on your iPad or whatever if we're on a long trip.
Ugh, I hate that feeling. I hate the motion sickness.
Nausea.
Feeling. Yeah.
Do you get sick on planes?
No, I don't have trouble on planes.
You would have on the flight to Austin the other day.
Little
because
turbulence?
No, not little. There was nothing little about it.
A lot of turbulence.
They warned us we're going to hit turbulence.
Oh.
And we said, okay, a couple bumps. This was like a roller coaster, dude, to where I reached over the aisle for my wife's hand. That's how bad it was. We went, and I looked at her, and she looked at me. We look over at Taylor, my 4-year-old. He's smiling from ear to ear like a lunatic.
Did you have both kids on one side and
No, we had
one
Hannah
on
had
each?
Taylor 2, and it was 2-2.
So you both had an aisle, and they were in the middle seat. And
no,
then,
it was 2 and 2.
Oh, it was just 2 and 2 the whole
it
way.
was a little plane.
Oh, okay.
Like a regional jet. And it was
when you go with your
dicey.
kids and it's a 3 and 3, how do you do it? 3 and 1 or 2 and 2?
One of us will take the kids.
Both 3 on one aisle, and then one person gets to sit on their own with.
Yeah, usually. We had the back row. We had 2 in the back row and 1 on 10. So Bo and I sat in the back and let the wife and the other kid sit up front.
That's terrifying.
It was really scary.
I just watched
it was
Almost
really scary.
Famous over the weekend.
Yeah.
And that final scene where they all think the plane's going down, it like gave me anxiety to watch it again.
It was pretty. It's as bad a turbulence I've ever experienced in my whole life, and it was not pleasant. Super excited to fly across
I don't
the
think this
country.
was the private jet this time.
No private jet.
No,
this was Alaskan Airlines. A lot of fun.
To Texas.
Yes.
All right. Special guest tomorrow. Jim Lampley's coming in the
Wow.
studio. He's got a new book out. One of the greats
Huge.
of sportscasting. Gonna
He's
stop
coming
by.
in.
He's coming in. Yeah.
Love it.
Until then, though, Braden's up next. For Paulie, for Woods, I'm Ben. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. So long.